wrapped around your soul with no control. You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I'll run, I'll hide. Darkness always clouds my mind. When I look behind, it's moving closer every time. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. This darkness, my old friend, you get me in the end. See you at the end. At the end. Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. This darkness, my old friend, you get me in the end. See you at the end.
What's going on, folks? Will Stewart here with another late night THFC rant. North London Derby. We get our butts kicked because nobody wanted to show up. How you guys doing tonight? How you guys doing tonight? We are Link is in the top of the chat. If you want to join the show, just simply click on the link there. Come on in and have your say. Some people who are in the chat right now. Jammy Git. All roads lead to Levy. The fish rots from the head down. There is no plan, no identity. No Harry's negativity impacts the squad. Now Harry's negativity impacts the squad. I've been saying that for a long time. Tottenham Tantrum here. We all need to understand that the problem at our club is Levy and Enoch. We all wanted Sugar out at the time. Look at what we ended up with, man. Look what we ended up with. A man with no hair, no clue. So please, Levy, get the out. Talking ball. What a let him have it, Will. The dawn is cooking and it's burnt. Smells like Nuno, Peri Pulis nipped out for a cheeky noondos. I have no idea what that means. Music's not angry enough for a rant. I agree. It is not angry enough for a rant. Let's see here. What a disgraceful, disgusting so-called performance in the NLD. I stopped watching. Couldn't take any more of that crap. I watched the whole thing. So much water, music, and Nuno is drowning. That's true. But I'm going to tell you guys what. It is definitely the case that we do that. Big time Girder says, everyone out. Alex Burleton, good evening. We are such. This is the Spurs part of the team. It's kickoff time, but nothing happens. Came by to drop a like at Will Stewart, THFCRants and crew. Chat, I hope you guys are having a good night. Enough Spurs talk for me. Might be back later. Come on, you Kurt. You Spurs. Thank you, Spurs 7-2. I understand. Pissed and furious. Inconsistency is key. Can I curse yet? About 2 more minutes before we can say. David is here. The Irish Hotspur. Disgraceful performance. I don't disagree with you at all. Where is my beard? It got shaved. I lost a bet with Cody Mack, and so I shaved the beard. But after 2 days, it was Wednesday, right, that I shaved it? Wednesday night? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 days. Starting to come back. Irish join. You can join if you would like. The link is up to the top. He said he's up in bed besides the missus who's has to be up in a few hours, so he can't join the show. No problem, mate. Love your passion on your stream today. Jimmy the Git. If I'm Nuno, I'm sitting Kane. I agree. Will, please call Marcelo. You say his name and he appears. What's going on? You got a beard now. We switched. You took yourself off camera for a second. I can't hear you either. But he's here. He'll be back in a minute, all right? Wasn't passion, it was hurt, mate. Kane needs to go reinvest that money ASAP. Aaron is here as well.
Hello.
What's going on, my friend?
Am I on, boys? Because I've got you boys streaming on my TV. So
you are on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. I can hear you.
This is what Tottenham does. This is watching Nuno. That's what it does to you.
Trying to be a little bit like him with the beard there. We traded spots. I had to shave mine. It's coming back though. It'll be
Marcelo, let it out, will you? Because I'm about to. Go on, man. Go on. Let it rant.
I mean, do I need to? I already said everything I said about the guy. He's not good enough to be a Tottenham manager. I said it since this
I know
Crystal
you
Palace.
did that.
People said I was overreacting, but it's not overreacting, man. The guy just doesn't have a sense, a clue what attacking football is. We're toothless. Have we ever been as toothless under Nuno than any other manager before? I mean, I can't honestly remember. I mean, I thought Jose played defensive football, but at least Jose, he put out players out there that could hurt teams. This guy and he at least had tactics that could hurt teams. This guy can't. I mean, really, even the games that we won, like, did we even really dominate? Like, have we even 6 games? Have we dominated a game?
Chelsea, RB, and City dominated.
No. I mean, have we dominated a game? It's been 6 games.
City. We dominated in City.
I don't know if we dominated. It was a good game. I will give them that. City was a good game. I felt that was it was a strong performance. But I wouldn't say we dominated. But, other than the City game, even I said it even after like the Wolves game. I was telling David, I was like, man, we can't keep playing this football. We'll look horrendous. And then the Watford game, I was like, man, this guy, he needs to change his tactics. And then, people kept saying, no, we're top of the league. And I was like, we are top of the league, but it's not going to last, but.
Well, I knew it wasn't going to last us being
but like,
top of the league. That's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I think we all knew that, man.
But like what I meant was like this.
Well, not everybody.
Well, I kept saying like this win streak isn't going to last. He's got to like change his tactics, man. Because I mean, we're struggling against these really below par teams. And I know, listen, I know people are going to, the players are a disgrace. That's not a secret. We all know who they are. We all talked about them. But then again, and I love Dele Alli, but like, this is Dele Alli's 6th game, right? He hasn't shown anything to prove to us that he's starting. And then Gil, who comes in, actually looks pretty good. Every time he comes in, he looks pretty good. Why not give the?
He should have started, man. He should have started.
Yeah, why not? If I'm Brian Gill, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, man, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing wrong? Because I'm coming in with energy, pace, creativity, try my best. If he continues this, not only is he going to have a shit player in Dele Alli right now, who's just in a horrendous form, he's also going to start losing guys like Brian Gill, who he needs, because he's going to be like, I'm trying my best, but this guy's just fucking benching me, so fuck you. So this guy doesn't have any clue of man management or this guy. He is honestly the worst manager I've ever seen at Tottenham. And I said it at Crystal Palace, just by his tactics, just that little glint. This guy is the worst manager I've ever seen at Tottenham. Tim Sherwood is better than this guy. At least Tim Sherwood stuck to the football. AVB was better than this guy. And
I mean, technically, both AVB and Tim Sherwood had really good records.
They had a
better record than Jose. Right?
But they were shit managers, man. You know what I mean? Like
9 fucking goals in 3 London derbies. I mean, come on.
That's disgraceful. And
it's like, a fucking embarrassment.
And it's like Crystal Palace and Arsenal are not good teams. Chelsea I could stomach. Chelsea I can maybe stomach because they are a great team. They are a great, like losing 3-0 to this Chelsea side can happen. But fuck me, man. We looked toothless against Palace. We looked toothless in a North London.
I want to know what tactics we're talking about, because everybody keeps throwing out the word tactics, but there's nobody is like,
because
establishing what that is.
Well, the attacking there's no tactics to use the wingers to stretch out the fence. There's no, players that are set up to, be creative. He doesn't set up the team. He plays a 4-3-3, but he plays in a defensive sense where he brings every player back. He plays 11 men on a corner. You know what I mean? Like, he plays an attacking setup, but with a defensive mindset. That is just so. It's like going to a boxing ring. I've explained this before. I said it in the group chat. This is like going to playing 4-3-3 with a defensive mindset. It's like going to a boxing ring and saying, you know what, I'm just gonna cover up and I'm not gonna like throw any punches. You're never gonna win.
What do you say to like Nuno, who today said the players weren't listening to him?
I'll say, bro, were they listening or do you just not know what you're doing? Because I mean, how
he got it all wrong. He got his team selection wrong. I mean, for me, Skippy and Højbjerg should have been playing like two in front of the defense. Brian Hill should have started. I wouldn't have played Lucas, even though I know he was one of our better players. But I just thought he would have brought a bit more energy. And the guy's a passionate player. Man, it was just from the get-go, it was just fucking wrong. And even when we were playing against Chelsea, man, we had a corner. We only had 4 fucking lads in the box. You know, like attacking our corners. They had 7 when they had their corners. It's just look, Marcelo.
And Arsenal don't even have any tall players, man. Ben fucking White is like, you know, a midget, bro. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, and then against, like, it just makes no sense what this guy does. And then the long balls. It's just always just long. Like, we can't play out. You know, there's no sense of play. I saw more from Ryan Mason in his 6 games than I have under Nuno. This guy does not inspire me as a Spurs manager. Not at all.
You know, did you read that stat? Something like 37% of our passes were long balls today.
It's disgusting.
But do you think that's what he's telling him, or you think they're just doing it because they couldn't break the press?
I think that's what he's telling him, Will. Because under Mason,
that was tactics.
Yeah, under Mason.
How do you know it's tactics, though?
Because under Mason, we weren't doing the same thing, man. You know what I mean? Under Mason, we were playing, you know, playing out the ball, playing like, and a lot of under Mason, a lot of these
we're getting our butts kicked by Aston Villa and.
Okay, yeah.
And who's that other team we lost?
We lost to Aston Villa and we lost to Leeds. Okay, but we also played very well against Leicester.
That was one game that we played well.
We also played very well against Wolves. He dominated against Wolves, and he played very well against Southampton. No, Wolves would beat 2-0, and then we beat Southampton 2-1. You know, and by the way, this is a guy that came in with no preseason, just came in while the club is in free fall, and actually put up better performances than Nuno, who's had a whole season and has had new players and has had time to, you know, change his tactics. In my opinion, it's just like.
Oh, hold on a second. Nuno didn't really have a preseason either, right? Because of the
more of a preseason than Ryan Mason had. More of a preseason.
Nuno got dealt a raw hand, though, man, a raw deal, man. He really did. He came in late, and with all the messing going on. But by the way, Marcelo,
okay, I'm definitely blaming the players. I'm just trying to hear these guys out before I start in. I'm letting them, you know, you gotta hear the argument before you rebut it, right?
But the players, man, I mean,
so let me ask you something about today. Like, let's take Brian Hill for example, right? Was he better than Dele Alli coming off the bench? Sure, because Dele Alli was horrible,
fucking
right?
horrendous.
But how many times did Brian Hill give the ball away?
A couple times.
More than a couple, man.
More than
60% of the time.
A bit more energy, though. You know.
But okay, look, energy is great. It's just like Lamella. Who had better energy than Lamella for the side? Nobody did, right? But if there's no end product with that energy, then it's pointless, right? So just because somebody has more energy,
3 down at that point.
Nobody had energy in that match, right? So it's easy to say that. But what I want to know is. Who could have, other than the substitutions that Nuno made today, who else could he have brought on?
It's not just bringing it on, Will. It's just how we're set up, man. We're not set up to like the. I
mean, did we change formations in the second half?
The way we're playing is just not like it doesn't make any sense, man. It doesn't make like
makes perfect sense to me because the players are shit.
No, but how so? We're playing a 4-3-3, Will.
Yeah, with shitty players who can't play in 4-3-3.
A 4-3. Then why are you playing a 4-3-3? Adjust your
What
fucking
other formation are we going to
tactics.
play?
Oh, I don't know. There's 3-4-3. You know,
Okay, he can't play a 3-4-3 because Levy won't let him.
4-2-3-1. Man.
Okay,
Yeah,
no. Forget fucking Levy. If this guy, right, is the real deal, he plays the tactics he can play, because Pochettino has played 3-4-3 before. He's played that, you know, he's played in different formations before. Like, also, there's no style of play, man. There's no style. Like, I don't see us having any style. Like, do you there? You know, because do you, like, any of you here see any style of play under Nuno? I don't know, man. I don't.
No, Marcelo, you know, me and you debated about Nuno, and I was absolutely on the give the guy a chance. I'm like David Harris, back every manager, but today I honestly, my opinion's changing, and I'm starting to see yourself from Stelios' point of view now. And it's fucking gut wrenching, man. It's heartbreaking. I agree with you guys. You know, I was maybe wearing my, you know, blue tinted glasses, and yeah, but today was just a shambles. Like, there was nothing. There was no strategy. There was no, like, the formation was wrong. The player selection was wrong. Everything was fucking wrong.
Who else would he
today.
have selected?
I mean, he should have played. He should have played Romero.
Yeah, I would have played Romero, and I would have started with Brian Hill.
Hey, Romero played a full match on Wednesday and got a knock.
I don't think you can play Dele and Undombele together, right? So
everybody, hold on. This is the problem. This is the thing that frustrates me, right? When we were playing two defensive midfielders, that was the problem.
No, not for me.
He's crazy. Two defensive midfielders. That's the problem. Now he's not playing two defensive midfielders, and now it's you can't play the Ndombele and Dele together. So
but I'd be having Højbjerg and Skippy in front of the back four.
Right, Aaron. But everybody was saying that was bad.
I'm not everyone. This is my view.
People thought that if you played Højbjerg and Skip, you can't play Dele because Dele doesn't create enough. You need to play someone like Ndombele. You need a little bit of creativity. The issue was he was playing Skip. He was playing Højbjerg.
No, hold on.
Yeah. Let me finish. He was playing Skip. He was playing Højbjerg, and then he was playing Dele. And when you have fuck all creativity,
But no, it wasn't the Dele wasn't the problem. People were saying Dele was playing well, right? It was the fact that they wanted him to play either Lo Celso or Ndombele alongside with Dele, right? That's what they called, or Ryan Hill. Okay, that's what people were calling for. I can pull up the tape.
He's also not getting the best out of these players.
No, it's what do you expect him to do, Marcelo?
Listen.
Go back to our last year, man.
I just saw Thomas Frank, right? Stop it now.
Huh?
I saw Thomas Frank get a bunch of championship players with 0 Premier League experience.
Okay.
And they just drew in a classic against Liverpool.
Okay, what is their mentality?
This is because that.
And what's those players' mentality?
Because the coach is supposed to implement the mentality.
No, that's not what happens. Coach does not implement mentality.
You take Thomas Frank out of that Brentford team, that Brentford team goes down. I guarantee you, it would. It would.
I don't think so.
It would. That Brentford team, Thomas Frank is getting the best out of that team. He's getting the best out of every single one of those players. It's just like a Pochettino. As soon as we sacked Pochettino, we saw how much he was getting the best out of some of these players, and we wondered, how did he do it?
Why did Pochettino get sacked?
Because Levy is a fucking idiot.
No, because these players were we were having the worst run in the club's history.
Yes.
Yeah, and the players have let every manager down.
At the end.
The players, but the thing is, Pochettino proved himself that he's still a capable manager. We should have stuck by him.
Hold on.
Nuno
From December
is
to
not
November, 24 points, Marcelo. From December of the season before to November when he got sacked, 24 points.
We were playing horrendous football, and it was the player's fault. But I'm telling you, with this Nuno guy, he is, even if you give him the right players, he is simply not good enough. He's simply not.
Then how did he get
enough.
Wolves to 7th 2 years in a row?
Bro, he should have done better with Wolves. You know what I mean? Wolves fan base hates him.
How did he get every single club he worked for into European football?
I don't know,
including a club that had never been there in their history.
Okay, but what is he doing now to prove us that he can fix the problem? You know, I don't care what he does with those other teams. What is he doing at Spurs? They can solve the problem.
What tools does he have to work with?
How is he the solution to Tottenham? There is some tools here in Tottenham.
There's no tools.
You can't tell me this team is worse than Wolves. Can't tell me this team is worse than Crystal Palace. I can tell
we drew 2-2 with our starting 11 minus Son. That's it, pretty much, in Højbjerg, right? We drew 2-2 with their 10 having 6 starters on the bench. True or false?
Yeah, we drew 2-2.
With
because
6 of their starters on the bench and only 2 of ours on the bench.
Because Nuno is a poor manager.
No, because our squad has no depth.
No, our squad is better than Wolves. Our squad is better than Crystal Palace.
The whole 25 men.
Convince me that they're not better
the whole
than
25 men.
He's not getting the best out of these players. He's not a top class manager. Nothing tells me proves that this guy's a top class manager. He needs to go.
Marcelo does not come down to the player's attitude, man.
I'm not saying he's top class, but to think that a professional athlete at this level needs to coach in order to give them a mentality is absurd.
But that's the way the modern footballer is.
It's not the way the modern football works.
It is.
No, you buy players to have mentality.
No. Klopp comes in and he instills a mentality in the team. You have to
like whining like a baby?
You have to instill your philosophy within a team. You have to instill. Every time we've gone to halftime, this guy, he doesn't know what to do,
What? Not in the Europa League. We didn't. They didn't have all their starters on the bench or on the field. But what I'm saying is look, okay. I don't think he's a top class manager, right? There's nobody who would say that Nuno is a world class manager. There's nobody that's saying that, right? Nobody's saying that. Okay. But do you think if we bring in Potter, he was going to do any different with the squad? No, I've been saying that since the end of last season. The reason why I wasn't Jose out is because no one can do better. No one can do better with these players. No one can. We didn't buy anyone who can efficiently affect our starting 11 during the window, except for Romero. But even he has been splotchy, been in and out, hurt, been in and out because he went to international football when he shouldn't have. Right? Played a full 90 minutes on Wednesday and got a knock at the end. Right? You saw him get hit, hobbling around, hopping. Right? It's not like it was a secret. So I just don't understand who.
Man.
What
it's
attitude?
The player's
it's the
attitude.
player's attitude. That's not Nuno's fault. They had
I agree with you. These same players had the same attitude under Jose.
Yes.
They had the same attitude under Pop.
So we're gonna stick by Nuno. Yep. So you think we need to stick by Nuno and that he is the answer for Tottenham? What happened? You sack him, and these players are gonna have the same attitude on whoever they give. Look, I hope they do sack him. I hope they sack him tomorrow. You know why?
Yeah. Because then I can be proved.
Then I can be proved 100% right, because whether it's Mason, you give Mason a stretch more than 6 games towards the end of the season, or anyone else, they're going to have the same results. They are. That's why we needed to sign another center back and a winger this year. It's not the results. Listen, forget the results. It's just a pattern of play. Screw the pattern of play. No, not screw the pattern of play. Every manager that comes in, regardless of how the team is, right? Klopp, when he first came in, Liverpool was dog shit. And they were dog shit for the first season under Klopp. Yeah, and they were dog shit on first season under Poch. But the thing is that Klopp had was a pattern of play, and he instilled it the first season, even when they were losing. Hold on, we weren't dog shit under the first season of Poch. We finished in the top 6. No. I mean, I'm saying Klopp. Yeah. Klopp, when he first came in, he finished 8th. But Klopp stuck with the football. Klopp stuck with his pattern of play, and he stuck through that philosophy throughout his whole entire tenure at Liverpool. We were slopping Liverpool like 6-1 that season. Right? Yeah, no, but the thing is, Klopp still stuck by it, man. He kept going with that pattern of play, and he helped develop a lot of players, a lot of the young players. Right, but the players liked Klopp. The players played for Klopp. They adapted to what he wanted. Okay, then if that first season, he had to cut a lot of deadwood. But he still stuck with the pattern of play, man. Like this guy, we need a manager, right? I mean, we need. First off, it is not all Nuno's fault. You are correct there. We have a lot of players that need to go,
But Nuno is not gonna help fix anything, man. He is not helping anything at all. In fact, he's probably making it worse. He's making it worse because not only is he playing dreadful football, it's very clear that none of the players even like him or respect him. Mason had more respect for these players than Nuno. He did. He had more respect from these players than Nuno. And Mason got these guys running more than Nuno.
You're saying Nuno's at fault. I'm saying the players are at fault.
Well, no, the players are at fault as well. Everybody's at fault. Listen, the whole club is a shambles from top to bottom. You know, from the leadership.
And that's why we need fucking Lineker out, man.
Like, if you gave me a choice right now and then that I could keep Nuno and just get rid of Enoch, I will keep Nuno and get rid of Enoch. But that's
this is a factual statement. Klopp refreshed the entire first 11.
Yeah, but the thing is, Klopp, you could clearly
except for Henderson.
No, but the thing is, you can clearly see that Klopp had a pattern to play. So, like,
it didn't work. He had.
It didn't work with the players he had, but you saw there was like a style. And also Klopp, you know, he won trophies with Dortmund. He was an accomplished manager under Dortmund. He reached a Champions League final with Dortmund. So he's already had a good CV. So it was
I'm not saying Nuno's Klopp. I'm not saying Nuno's Klopp. But when you take an average manager, right? Average manager, I'm conceding he's an average manager. I've never said he was a world-class manager. You take an average manager with below average players, what are you going to get?
You're going to
get a below average side.
That's why I would rather.
It's obvious.
No. That's why I would rather put Ryan Mason and just wait until we can get a better manager in, man. Just get Ryan Mason.
So you go to a more average manager.
No. Ryan Mason will get us at least playing some attacking football, right? Because I'm bored of this shit, bro. I'm bored of going against Crystal Palace.
What is Ryan Mason? I'm
bored of going against Crystal Palace, Watford, these even relegation teams, and playing like we're Burnley, bro. I'm tired of playing.
Okay, so
Burnley.
hold on. So you want to see Harry Winks start week in, week out. You want to see Dele Ali start week in, week out.
Football. No, what I'm saying is I would rather play attacking football and you know finish fucking 10th than whatever shit.
If Ryan Mason comes and we finish far below 10th.
We're not going to finish far below 10th.
Yeah, we will. We are a weaker squad this season than we were last season.
I don't think we're going to finish below 10th. I think
Do we have Toby anymore? Do we have Lamella anymore?
We have Romero now. And we have
Romero hasn't bedded in 100% yet.
I would rather have Ryan Mason than this fucking manager, bro. This guy, he is clueless. He has no pattern to play, bro. Same thing the Wolves.
He does have a pattern to play.
It's called fucking playing like Burnley, bro. I don't want to play like Burnley.
Okay, so you're telling me that Nuno is telling the players in a 4-3-3 to lop the ball forward.
Yeah, I think he is. Because that's
Why
what
would
he
he do
used to
that?
Yeah,
because that's what he used to do.
That was today's tactics.
That was his tactics.
That was not his tactics under. That was not his tactics under Wolves. Right? He played out of the back, up the wings. That's his pattern to play.
He has some of the worst attacking stats
from center back to left back to center mid to left winger to striker. That's what it was. Give and goes all the way up the wings.
Mason
he never played long balls. Look it up.
Mason had better attacking stats in his first 6 games than Nuno. Nuno at Wolves had horrendous attacking stats. He has attacking stats at Wolves not very good. Nuno is just counter attack and pray, bro. That's it.
No, that's not what he plays. He plays possession up the wings.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't play possession football, bro. He never played possession football. Ryan Mason, when he played against the Park, I can look it up. He doesn't have. He has some of the worst attacking stats in the league. You can look that up. His attacking stats are shit. It's always been shit. It's been some of the worst. Even while he was at Wolves. Last season, he was horrendous. His attacking stats were horrendous. It was shit. This guy's more of a terrorist than fucking Mourinho, man. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. Why did we even sack Mourinho if we're going to bring in Nuno?
There was no reason to sack Mourinho.
Yeah, well, there was. There was a financial reason. Yeah, if you won a cup.
I'm talking football reasons. Screw the financial reasons. I'm not talking about that BS, right? That's
no, but you're saying why was he sacked? It was a financial reason. How do we won the cup?
He was sacked because fans are fickle. I've already watched it. It's already happened here, right? I've been consistent the entire summer, right? People are bouncing all over the place, right? Don't play 2 defensive mids. Play two defensive mids. Start this guy. Don't start this guy. Nuno's done all of those things, and people still say that he should be out. Okay, it's like he cannot please you. The fact of the matter is, and I've been saying this since August, since the transfer window, we signed for the future instead of the now. We didn't bring anyone who can effectively impact our first team except for one player, right? What you're seeing right now are the effects of a 3 out of a 10 transfer window. That's exactly what you're seeing. We let our best center back go. We brought in one who's good, who could be great, but right now isn't performing at his level. Even when I was calling for Romero to start from day one, I was like, no, you can't take out the pairing. Can't take out the pairing. You know, Sanchez and Dyer are doing a good job. I said, fuck them, right? Let's bring in the player that we paid £50 million for to play, right?
And he doesn't do it.
And it's because there's no reason to. You got to keep him in. You got to keep the momentum. Well, now there's a reason, right? So Romero should start. I think what is going on. This is conspiracy.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Will. No, hold on. I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. If you know that, and if you and I know that, because we both agreed on that part, Eric Dyer and Sanchez is not going to work. If you and I both know that, how does Nuno not know that, bro? He's right there.
Nuno does know that.
Right? Then why is he playing Dyer?
Well, first of all, Romero wasn't ready to start, right? We signed him at the end of the window.
Because he played at Rennes. You played him against Rennes. Why would you play him against Rennes?
Just got to get him some minutes.
No, he needs minutes in the Premier League, bro.
I mean, you got to get some fitness in his legs, right? He didn't have a preseason. He came in the last week of the transfer window, right? He's got to get bedded in. He's got to get game fit, right? Then you had the whole, international break fiasco, right? He plays them on Wednesday. Did he not play 90 minutes on Wednesday?
Who? Well, Romero. Yeah, he did.
Okay. So he plays him in that, get him fit. He got a knock. That's why he came off early. He actually didn't play 90 minutes, right? They subbed him off.
Came off. Yeah.
Yeah, because he got a knock, right? That's why they subbed him off. That's what it said in the press conference afterwards, right? So it makes sense that he doesn't start today. Now, right? Obviously, when we're down 3-0 at halftime, right, in the first 35 minutes, right, we got to bring in somebody who's going to be able to stop goals, but yet can also help us moving forward. So we take out, Dele, who was less than a passenger, right? You try to bring in Emerson, who's supposed to be more attacking than Tanganga. I still am not on that bus yet. But then you bring in Gil at the 68th minute, right? 65th minute. I think he actually, by the time he came on the pitch, it was a 68th minute. But that's what I'm saying, right? Who else does Nuno have to bring on?
Sorry, can I just say to No Cap in the comments there, Marcelo knows his football, man. He knows his football very well, right? These are opinions that we're having now. And not 3 of us on this panel are going to agree totally, but don't think Marcelo does not know his football, man, because this boy does.
And I'm saying this with Nuno. If he's gonna play defensive, right? He's gotta set up defensively. Like
he can't.
He can.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why he can't. Right. The whole thing of signing him was that Paratici had to prove to Levy that he could play 4 at the back.
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna play attack.
So I think what's going on is he has to show the first 3 of results didn't help Nuno's case. Why? Because we won. Yeah, the football was crappy, but we won. So, right, so Daniel Levy's going to say, keep doing it. Now with this, because you could say, I could see it in Nuno's face today, right? He said, it's my fault, right? Was what he said. Ultimately, it's my fault, right? Because I made the decisions, and me and the coaching staff are going to have to go back and rethink what we're doing. What I take that to mean is I'm now going to go to Daniel Levy and say, see, I can't play 4 at the back. I need to go to a 3 at the back system, because that's what Nuno wanted to play. That's what Paratici wanted to play. But Daniel Levy has to stick his stinking nose into the business and say, we want to have our DNA, our club DNA, and we don't have the players to do that. We don't. We've sold all. Think about Poch's second season at the club. Who did we have? We had Rose, right? Yan and Toby, Kyle Walker, in front of that, Dombele, right? In front of him, different, midfielders, Son, Kane, and Eriksson, and a prime Deli, right? Do we even have half of that squad right now?
No, but the thing is,
but
the thing is, Will, the whole Daniel Levy thing, I agree with you about the squad. The squad is not good enough. I also don't think Nuno is getting the best out of the squad. He's not playing the right system that can get the best out of the squad.
Listen to the players. Will just listed out there, though. There isn't one of them. Like, there isn't one of them you wouldn't take in the team. You know what I mean? You wouldn't pick.
Never replace him.
It's just shocking what we've turned into. It really is, man.
But the thing is, I'm not gonna buy the whole Levy bullshit thing. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna buy it because guess what?
When you're a manager,
no, he's done it before. But if you're a real manager with proper balls, and you know what you're doing, right? You don't listen to the chairman.
Right, and that's why we're stuck with Nuno, right? You have to understand that the real managers with proper balls aren't here because they wouldn't agree to Levy's bullshit.
No, but you know what? If I'm Nuno, I would agree with it. I'll say, yeah, fine. I'll do whatever you want, right? But then when it's like I'm in Tottenham, I would have said, fuck you, I'm gonna play my way, and we're gonna win, right? Because at the end of the day,
what's Nuno gonna do with your boy Don Paratici, the puppet, Levy's puppet, sitting behind him? Come on.
But the thing is, no. What Nuno has got to do is he's got to play his style. That's what Pochettino did when he first came in, right? Levy tried to put a hand on him and control him. People always thought that Pochettino was, Levy's puppet. Far from it. When he first came in, he didn't listen to a single word. Like he did. He played his own football, man. He didn't play the players, Levy wanted. He played the players that he wanted. He played the players that he felt was right in the system. And and he was getting a lot of fire from it. He was getting a lot of fire from Levy. But guess what? He made it through. He got us fifth.
I'm still okay with Nuno being appointed.
And then he went on and we had a great time, right? With Pochettino. That's what a manager with balls does, right? You don't, because at the end of the day, he knows that if we play a 4-3-3 in attacking football, we're going to lose with this squad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, he's going to get the sack, regardless. So it's better just to play your system, man. Just play the system that you know. Play 3 at the back. Play the 3-4-3, man. Play your strongest hand. And if that doesn't work out, fair enough. You tried your best. You played your style. You played your pattern of football.
But I think there's a new thing here, though, and I do think David has a point. I don't think I laughed at you, David, for this, because I was never a Don Paratici fan myself. But he says, Paratici and Hitchin on the sidelines. It probably got on Nuno's nerves. It came out in the press that it got on the players' nerves. I think that that Nuno is being told how he's supposed to play. He's not in control of it, and that's why, to me, it looks like when I see his. Now, this is all conjecture, right? This is just simply based on body language, right? But when I see him on the sideline, just kind of shaking his head, it's almost like he's saying to himself, "See, I fucking told him." You know what I mean? Like his composure on his face is like, what do you want me to do? It's almost like he feels helpless, like he's being told, right? Because you would think if it's his system in his head that he's trying to partake and the players aren't participating, right? He's going to be out on the sideline screaming at him, right? Hey, do what I want you to do. But because he knows inside his own head that what he's being forced to do isn't going to work, he's just kind of like, fuck it. I mean, look at his body language on his
like, yeah, I'd say Nuno feels like he, like a kid does on his first date with the mother standing behind him. It's
hopeless.
It's just so fucked up, man. It's so wrong. The whole structure. Oh, hello, 안녕하세요, Gogoma. It's just wrong. Like that Paratici that involved. For me, that must be a nightmare for Nuno. I would personally think, if I was coaching.
Yeah, I don't think he has full control either, David. I really don't. I mean, just looking at his look on the face, even Fonseca said Paratici rejected for being too attacking, right? He has the power. He's not a puppet. Nuno is the placeholder fall guy puppet for Nuno and the Don. I agree for the Don. I agree, man. This is all about
Jeez, we needed Conte. We needed Conte.
Paratici was picking the players, right? He bought the players, right? And I don't think that. Look, I don't think that Paratici is even 100% to blame, right? I think that the level of blame goes just exactly like this. Daniel Levy is number one to blame, right? Because he's the one that's getting in Paratici's way. Paratici is the second one to blame because he's getting in Nuno's way. Then Nuno and the players. I think the players are even higher than Nuno to blame. I really do. Because
after today, today I'm blaming the players.
And Marcel, I gotta ask you now, right? Because I mean, the whole thing that we got into a big argument about last time, you know, when Aaron got mad and I said things to Aaron I probably shouldn't have in the heat of the battle.
Man. Okay.
What's your opinion on Kane now? You can't tell me he's not a passenger now.
With Kane, look, listen. This is going to be controversial. A lot of people's not going to like my opinion, but I'm still going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Listen, if there's any player that has put in the work over the years and deserves a little bit of time.
Screw that. Well, how's he playing now?
No,
tell me he's
like
not
shit.
Ericsson.
No. He's playing like shit, and he is playing with the motions. I will agree, and he needs to step up. And if it wasn't for, and if his name wasn't Harry Kane, and he wasn't the player that he is, he would have been benched by now, right? We all agree on that.
Levy won't let him be benched.
No, exactly. But we would all agree on that.
He should be benched.
He should be benched.
But we can't bench him because we've got nobody else to fill his shoes. Like,
but the thing is, with Harry Kane, I will still give him the benefit of the doubt that he's down and everything like that, because the guy, he's put in enough credit.
He needs to go. That's what I'm saying. If he's going to do this, he needs to go.
No, look, if it continues, I'm going to say if it continues until by the end of October, then yeah, I will agree with you, Will. But I'm still willing to give him the guy the benefit of the
only
doubt.
For my own mental health, he needs to go. Right? I mean, I have the guy on my desk. He's here and here. Right? One of my favorite players of all time. My image of him is going down by the day. I don't want it to be Christian Eriksen. I used to love Christian Eriksen. And those 18 months before he left, took it to the point when he finally did left, I was like, thank God. Thank God Eriksen's gone. Right? I don't want to have that opinion of Harry Kane. I don't want to come to January and when he goes somewhere else, be like, thank God he's gone.
Listen, look. I can see your point, Will, about Harry Kane. But like I told you with Sonny, Kane, I'm very loyal to them because of what they've done, you know, the hard work and sacrifice they put in the club. I think they've earned, you know, a little bit of credit in the bank where, you know, they can have some bad games, bad runs of form.
It's 2 months now.
I understand. But these guys have been also playing some of the best football for 6 years. They've been carrying, Harry Kane has been carrying this football club, has been one of the top scorers of the football club for 6 years now.
Can't forget about that. He's never gone 2 months without scoring.
I understand that. But it is still, for me about Kane, you got to give the guy at least some credit, like some time, give him some credit in the bank because he's earned it. You know, just don't turn your back on him just because he's had a month of bad 2 months of bad football. 2 months of bad football, because guess what? This guy has had 6 years of extraordinary football, and I will thank him for that, and I'm appreciative of that, and I'm willing to be loyal enough to, you know, to give him some time. You know what I mean? You got to understand what's going on probably in Kane's head. You know, he's probably deflated. He's probably deflated by the whole thing in January, you know, in the summer. He's probably deflated about a lot of things that's going on. You know what I mean? At the club.
That's fine.
I'm willing to give him by the end of the month before I judge Harry Kane.
All right, I will give you that space. I won't press you too hard, but come you know the end of October.
The end of October.
I'm gonna hold you. I'm gonna hold your feet to the
so hopefully, guys. I mean, come on, it's Harry Kane. Let's hope it's just a bad patch he's going through.
Yeah.
Hello, Kieran, and hello, Bryce in the comments, and
talking about benching Kane isn't. Sorry. Trying to jump in on the Irish Hotspur's comment here. She's talking about bench Kane and saying, and look, David, I understand you, but dude, I'm saying this for your mental health as well, Dave. Right? I saw it in your face today on We Are Tottenham TV. The Harry Kane is breaking your heart. He's breaking your heart. I can see it. Like even when the two guys in the studio made their comments, just even the fact that you had to listen to them, I could just see like them kicking you in the nuts of your soul. And I can't. Your soul. Yeah, the nuts of your soul, because they weren't physically kicking him in the nuts, right? But they were kicking the nuts of his soul, right? Just kicking him over and over again. And I don't want to see that happen to you, David. I don't like seeing David like that. But the only reason why I'm saying it is because for his own benefit, right? If he's at least on the bench and we play like crap, and people can at least rant and moan and say, "Wow, that's because we didn't play Kane." But if he's on the pitch doing what he did, I mean, the third goal was his fault, no doubt. Yep. No doubt.
Yeah,
that was his fault.
It was, but like the thing is, it's like I don't want. It's very hard for me to slander someone like Kane and Son. It's just for me, I just can't do it.
Well, I have a question for you.
Go ahead, man. Roll.
I agreed that the third goal is his fault, but did you see how he ran and tried to block the shot?
Yeah. He gave the ball away, but he gave the ball away, but he did chase back.
He did chase back.
Hold on.
Hey,
watch it back.
That's more effort than Dele Alli gives.
Listen. He gave the ball away, right? Hold on. Could have pressed the ball that he gave away, stopped, walked. Then once he realized that it was going to continue into a danger zone, he gave a late attempt trying to block the shot and didn't even come close.
Man,
Watch it back, man.
That's hyperbole, man. That's hyperbole.
It's not hyperbole. Watch it back.
No, but at least he showed that he cared.
Give the guy at least the benefit of the doubt,
bro. Come on, show that he cared. If I take out the trash after my wife yells at me, does that show her that I cared?
Yeah, but doesn't matter. At least
it doesn't show her that I care.
At least you
taking the trash out without being asked is showing her that I care, right?
No,
her screaming at me, why the hell you didn't take the trash out tonight? No, I'm doing it, all right? Okay, I'll do it. But that's not showing her that I care.
Look at Dele. This guy lost the ball like 3 times and didn't come back. At least Kane did it, and he's not even in his position. This guy's a striker.
Nah, you watch it back.
No, man.
Doesn't matter if you're the last man back. He turned and looked and watched. Watch him. He walks.
Listen, the only hope I have for this football club...
I'd bring it on screen right now if I didn't get demonetized.
Yeah, the only hope I have for this football club right now is just one day, Levy leaves and Pochettino comes back. That's about it. That's the only hope we have in this football club now, man. Because...
Guys, sorry to interject there. I'm getting a message from my daughter, and she's about to call me. So I'll listen in to you guys in the background and jump in the comments. And hello to Talking Ball, Colin. Love being on your show the other night. And yeah, guys, sorry, daughter and granddaughter video call coming up. So I'll listen to you boys in the background. All right.
Enjoy that. You need something positive after today. So that's
good. Man. The little granddaughter is sweetheart. And Will, thanks for having me on, brother. All right.
Anytime, man. You're welcome. Anytime.
Hey, on that note,
on
that note, can I permission?
Go ahead, Kieran. Yes, you rant. You rant and rant. I'm not gonna be able to moderate because I have to weavy.
Okay, even
I'm
better.
not running away from you, Marcel.
No holds barred. No.
That's a joke.
No.
I'll be right back. Go ahead.
What?
Today was fucking abysmal. It was. I turned it off at halftime. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it to myself. I couldn't. I've been having a lot of stuff going on in the personal life, and Spurs. Oh my god! Today it's like they just wanted to drive the knife into my back. I couldn't believe it, man. Just the lack of fight, the lack of will. They like these players. Some of them they just don't give a shit, and it's unbelievable that they still play. I mean, I don't know, and I hear all these things about Nuno. Oh well, what's he gonna do? He play the kids? He'll get sacked. What's he gonna do? Play a back three, even though Levy doesn't want him to? He'll get sacked. Well, fuck, he's gonna get sacked anyway. Playing like this, we're dog shit. Every offensive category, every attacking category, we are last or 18th or 19th. It's unbelievable. I mean, we all know, at least most of us here, we know that, it all comes back to Levy and Lewis, right? They're the main ones to blame. And, I wanted to believe that Nuno could do something with this squad. On one hand, I do think he could be doing better. I think there are probably reasons why he isn't. It's still not acceptable. Even with everything, and I know Will has got a lot of defending of Nuno that he wants to do, and that's fine. I understand there are reasons why he's performing so poorly. I understand he inherited a shit squad, a poison chalice with no time to work with them. I get all that.
To be fair, we've had worse squads. Wouldn't you agree? But I thought like Martin Yo's squad wasn't that good. That was a below average squad.
The squad Pochettino inherited was fucking awful.
It was better than this one, I will admit.
Worse. Honestly, in pure footballing talent and ability, I think there's more talent in this squad. But that squad, you had players that wanted to fucking play, players that wanted to fight for the badge, and it's just, and in a lot of ways, I feel bad for Nuno, but I'm not willing to give him a pass. He took the job. He knew what he was walking into. You can't tell me that he didn't, because he would have known there's a reason that none of these other managers wanted the fucking job. Okay? These managers talk to each other. There's a reason why it took 72 days to find a fucking manager. Because managers talk to each other. They've talked to Jose. They've talked to Mauricio Pochettino. They've talked to AVB and Martin Jol. They know how Daniel Levy is. He's fucking notorious in the world of European football. Nobody wants to work for him. Nobody wants to manage Spurs because they know what they're going to have to deal with from that bald bastard. And Nuno took the job. I don't know why. I don't know why he took the job. I don't know if he just thought that,
it's the biggest chance he's ever going to get in his career.
Yeah, I guess that's it. I guess it's just he knew he was never going to get another shot at a club this big, and so he just took it. And
this guy's going to be.
That's
he's
fine.
Going to be managing some club in I don't know.
In
the Middle East or something, or like Portugal.
Yeah,
he's going to manage a piss poor club after he's sacked from this.
Yeah,
because he will be sacked. Don't get me wrong.
He will be sacked for sure. He's way out of his depth, and I didn't realize that when he got signed. I thought there was potential there, but I also thought that potential came in the form of playing a back three, which we're not doing apparently because Daniel Levy thinks back three is defensive, or he thinks that the fans will think back three is. I don't even fucking know. But I've just had it with this motherfucker, man. It is unbelievable, the negligence, the incompetence of running a football club of this stature with the players that some of the players that we have, Harry Kane, Son Heung-min. I understand why Harry Kane's been shit. I understand why he's disinterested. Why the fuck would he want to play for this squad? Why the fuck would he want to play when he has to look to his left and right and see Ndombele gassed after 40 minutes, to see Dele Alli lose the ball in the opposition box and then stand there and throw his fucking arms up?
But
like it's not his own goddamn fault.
But why play them? Why play them?
That's my question. Well, here's the thing. That's a good question, right? Well, I'll tell you why. Because he's afraid if he doesn't play the players that Levy wants him to play, he will be sacked. But if he plays the players that Levy want him to play, he's going to get sacked anyway. Because
exactly,
he's a coward.
He's a coward.
Yeah, honestly, yes, I would say have some fucking balls and just do it.
That's what I mean. That's what I've been saying this whole entire time.
I agree with you, Marcelo, and I wish I'd woken up to it sooner. The thing is, he's fucked no matter what he does. If he doesn't play these players and plays the kids, then Levy will fire him. If he plays these players, we'll continue getting fucking slammed, and he'll get fired. Either way, he's getting sacked. There's nothing.
I mean, we all saw with PDF what happens when we play the kids.
Situation.
Listen, I will say this: he has a better chance at keeping his job if he grew some balls and played his system that he knows and played his style and brand of football and stick to his football. I guarantee you that. Any manager that comes to any football club has to follow his philosophy.
Yeah.
And you know what? Jose, he lasted 2 years at Spurs. Of course, the attacking football, his lack of attacking football did hurt him. But I will say this: Nuno is not even going to last even close to what Mourinho lasted.
Who are we going to get in though? I mean, who wants to come here? Like
I'm
even like
telling you,
David
Ryan
said,
Mason's
Graham
gonna become
Potter
manager.
even laughed
That's
at
the
us.
thing. Nobody does. We're gonna have to get somebody from the fucking championship. We're gonna have to get some. We're gonna have to bring in what's that guy from fucking Bournemouth who kept Eddie Howe. We're gonna have to bring him in because those are the
Eddie
only
Howe
kinds
over
of people
Nuno.
who want to come in.
I would take Eddie Howe and Scotty Parker over
whatever.
Nuno.
The point is that these kinds of managers are below the level that this club should be aiming
Absolutely.
for. Yet they're the
What
only
about-
ones who are willing to take the job
But
because
the thing
nobody
is,
wants to work
we-
with fucking
no, but the
Daniel
thing
Levy.
is-
Daniel
but the thing is,
Levy,
Kieran-
who brought in a fucking directive of football from Italy, the defensive football league. The Italian philosophy of football is inherently defensive, and he comes out after last season and says we're going to play attacking football. You go get a DOF from Italy, and then he wants to hire a defensive manager. Fonseca's come out in the press said he didn't get the job not because of some bullshit about taxes or this or that. No, it's because Paratici wanted a defensive manager. So what the fuck is going on here? You hired this guy, and this guy's talking out of his ass to Levy, saying, "Oh no, yeah, we'll get somebody attacking." But then when he's in the fucking room negotiating with the manager, he's like, "No."
You guys got to understand though. You got to understand. We have a DOF
what the
now.
fuck is happening?
Hold on.
Listen.
We have a DO. Hold on. Let me say this real quick. We have a DOF
Well, no, what
now.
I'm saying is,
Hold
why
on.
was he brought in if he doesn't want to play
on.
attacking football?
Hold on.
That's what I'm saying.
We have a DOF now. How we play, the style that we play, is not up to Nuno anymore. He's the coach. He's not a manager. He's the head coach.
Well, I'm not. I know. I'm not talking about Nuno. I'm saying. So all the things that are coming out now are saying that Paratici wanted a defensive style of football. That's why he passed on Fonseca. That's why he wanted Nuno, because Nuno is a defensive manager. But at the same time, Levy and the majority of the fan base wants attacking football. So what the hell is going on here? Why can't we just? Why did Levy hire a guy who wanted defensive football?
Not enough Indians.
If he promised attacking football and he knew the fans wanted it, it's because he doesn't know anything about fucking football. And all right, we get that, we know that. So where are the people around him in the club advising him on these decisions? I mean,
because they don't care.
What I think we need to do.
It's just
what
it's
we need
unbelievable.
To do, what we need
We're
to do.
a joke.
I agree with David 100%. The next appointed manager, because whether you like him or not, Will, he is going to be sacked by Christmas.
Look,
Nuno's
like I
going to
said,
be sacked by Christmas. He's not good enough.
Nuno was my preference simply because I thought that he was going to play a 3 at the back system, and that in playing a 3 at the back system, right, we would have a better opportunity of being competitive and wouldn't get our butts handed to us week in, week out.
But he didn't.
That show,
He's a
right?
coward.
And why didn't he?
Because he's
It's
a coward.
He's what?
He's
okay, he's a coward. I have no problem calling him a coward. He can be a coward. But what I'm saying is that if he's a coward, right, the buck doesn't stop with him.
No, absolutely. Look, absolutely not. But he is.
So I'm
not
saying
making,
is let's focus our energy at where the buck stops.
But the thing is, okay,
not Judas Iscariot.
You
right?
don't have. The thing is, we don't have any control on who's the owner of the football club. We just don't. You know, Daniel Levy, as long as he's making profit, he's not going to leave. So is Enoch, right?
I still don't understand. Like, where'd all this passion go for protesting and all this stuff? Where'd all that go?
Because we tried, Will. We tried. Stelios tried. You know, everybody tried, but like the fan base just doesn't want to.
Well, it's not up to us. We're over here. No, the three of us are sitting over here an ocean away. The three of us know that if we were there, if we could be in London, we would be at those fucking protests.
100%. Every single one of them would have been.
What about the thousands of people who go into that fucking stadium?
That's what I'm saying.
But the thing
That's what I'm saying.
But the thing
where is the fan base?
Why are they? But the thing is, well, what can we do? You know what I mean?
Well, hold on. What we can do is stop pointing the finger at Nuno and start pointing the finger at Levy, right? And trying to help motivate the people over in the UK to start going out and protesting against Daniel Levy. Because if Nuno gets sacked, what happens? What happens? It's like because you have a staph infection, you cut off your arm. Does that fix the staph infection?
But what I'm trying to say is But what I'm trying to say is,
the same thing we've been doing.
He is not making it easier. Listen, he is not making it easier for the football club. He is becoming like it's the same thing with Mourinho, right? I backed Mourinho until I saw that he wasn't helping the football club. He was also adding to the problems of the football club.
But it wasn't Mourinho's fault either.
No, it wasn't. And it wasn't Mourinho's fault. But the thing is, Nuno, he's already 6 games in, and he is adding problems to the football club because he's not playing his style of football. He's being a coward. He's just being Levy's puppet and Paratici's puppet. He needs to grow some balls and play his style of football.
I agree with you, Marcelo, but Marcelo, you know what happens after Nuno gets sacked? Who replaces him eventually? I mean, I'm sure we'll have Mason as an interim or whatever, but eventually the replacement will be another defensive counterattacking manager.
Listen,
as long as Fabio Paratici is director of football, we will have the replacement will be another counterattacking manager. This is the thing. This shows the incompetence of Daniel Levy, the board, Steve Hitchen, anybody who advises him on football matters at the club. These people are so fucking incompetent that after firing a manager because for several reasons. One, because Jose prioritized the cup over the league. 2, because he didn't want to have to pay him if he actually won the cup. And 3, because a lot of the fan base were against Jose, some of them from the beginning because they don't like his personality or the fact that he was a Chelsea manager, but a lot of them because of the counterattacking football, the style of football. So that's why they fired Jose. And then at the end of the season, Levy puts out this statement in the match program, the last game of the season, promising attacking, free-flowing, possession-based football, and then goes and gets a fucking director of football who wants the opposite. And allows himself to be convinced by this guy that he doesn't, that they're on the same page.
Listen, the next manager, what I'm trying to say is...
Paratici he's a fucking closet Arsenal fan, man. I swear. He's coming to sabotage us.
The next manager that comes in has to be a manager with a style of play and a pattern of play. And it doesn't matter whether we get spanked or not. I want to see a pattern of play. When we got Martignol, and you can ask David this, and I was watching Martignol's tape, we in terms of how we were winning and losing, it wasn't any different than this squad. You know what I mean? Win some, lose some. Sometimes maybe, as Gattuso said, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit, right? It wasn't that different. It wasn't that different. But the thing is, under Martignol, was he started a pattern of play and he started a style of play at Spurs that had a trickle-down effect with the other managers that we had. When we brought Redknapp, he brought in a similar style of play. When we brought in Pochettino, he brought that similar style of play. And because we kept that pattern, we built a squad. So unless our style of play from now on is going to be defensive football, Nuno's better start playing defensive football. But if we are setting our mind for attacking football, and I agree with you, Paratici, and I love Paratici. I think I picked him up, and I still giving him the benefit of the doubt. I think what happened.
Why are you giving him a pass, but not Nuno?
Because no, hold on.
He's the reason Nuno is manager. You're against manager.
No. Can I explain? So the issue is, he came in late. He came in a shit situation where Conte rejected us. A lot of top managers rejected us. And I thought maybe he thought that Nuno probably had better Premier League experience than Fonseca. That, listen, he had better Premier League experience. Listen, he made a mistake. He made a mistake hiring Nuno. But the
made a mistake on his signings as well.
I think, I disagree with the signings. I think a lot of his signings look good. Brian Hill looks good. One? Brian Hill looks
okay. Romero looks
Brian
okay.
Hill looks like
Emerson Royale doesn't look okay.
Brian Hill looks like he's going to be.
Well, so I'll tell you one thing: if Brian Hill will not be a top baller if he stays at a Spurs that is like this, that is run this way, he'll be ruined. Like every one of our young talent is ruined by the sick culture we have at this club. The disease, the rot, it gets into the players, it gets into their minds. And we see the effect on them after years. Look at Dele Alli. Look at Eric Dyer. Look at all these guys who have been here for years.
Listen,
guys who were really promising. Guys who were really
gotta read the
promising
super
when they
chat
were
real
young
quick.
and they were brought in, but now they've fallen to shit.
Listen,
Gotta pay the bills real quick. Hold on, let me pay the bills. Under Jose, Spurs scored 100 plus goals in a year. Bale plus Vinicius plus half Kane is 40 goals lost. Same players have failed under 3 managers now. David says you're a United fan, whether you are or not. I don't disagree with you. We are. I mean, Kane and I don't. Even in his first season with the first team, Harry Kane scored in his first 2 months. He hasn't scored in 2 months. 6 weeks.
Listen, the thing is, with Paratici, I thought he got the managers wrong. I thought he got the signings right, and I'm going to stick by those signings. I think, you got to remember he's working under a shoestring budget with Daniel Levy. I thought the players that we were linked to, you know what I mean? If we had Champions League football, we would have gone, Kawande. We probably would have gone Martinez. They probably wouldn't have rejected us. I mean, but the issue is, but the issue is, we're on a shit situation, so he had to do what he had to do, and he had to make what he had. We can't go out and get players like Martinez. We offered him the money. He just didn't want to come to us. That's not Partici's fault. That's Daniel Levy's fault for years of lack.
There were a lot of players we could have got that we didn't.
We could have gone that we didn't.
There are a lot of players within our price range.
Look at Tommy Oscar today, dude. Look at Tommy Oscar today.
But the thing is, they wouldn't have come. Yes, Tommy Asu, yes, he's looking good for Arsenal right now.
3 weeks in a row.
I think we got to give Emerson Royale a chance. I think we already thrown him off the team after 2 games. I think that's unfair. I think
because he didn't play well.
No, but I understand he didn't play well. But he's just a new kid. He's new to the league. He's playing. He's a guy that's used to attacking football, that is playing under a defensive system with a coach that doesn't know how to play him to his best limits. I've seen Emerson Royale play. I've seen Emerson Royale play really well for Real Betis. I've seen Emerson Royale play really well for the Brazil national under-23 team. I've seen him play really well for the national team. When he came out for the Copa America, he actually changed the game for us. We were much more attacking on the front foot. But the issue is Emerson Royale is an attacking. He's better when he's in the front foot. He's better when he's with the possession. He's playing.
Hold on, man. I gotta ask you a question. Like, I understand that, but what I've seen him is duck out of every 1v1, right? And when he does make a cross, it's horribly inaccurate. Like today, his ball in was like 10 yards behind the people in the box. I mean, it was awful.
I understand.
So I understand that. I give him some time. I'll give him some time. I'm willing to give him time because he's a young guy, right? But
he's only 20 years old.
By November, if he's not showing improvement,
well, that's
what
we're saying, Marcelo. He's only 20 years old, and he's come in to be the starting right back.
He's 22.
Like
he's 22, but.
Okay.
But the thing is, look,
we needed a winger. I mean, okay, Brian Hill, I'm fine with that signing. I think he's, good for the future. But talk about Premier League experience. Everton got Damari Gray from Leicester for less than £2 million. Less than £2 million. He scored 3 goals in 6 games already. This is what I'm talking about. We don't need to buy the best.
You have
players.
Leon Bailey, who is cheaper,
40, 50,
or the same.
60.
We have Leon Bailey, who's the exact same price as Brian Hill. So he's already got 2 goals and 2 assists.
He wouldn't have come to Spurs.
Yes, why wouldn't he have come to Spurs? He'd go to Villa, but not Spurs.
Yes.
How does that make sense?
Because we are a club at free fall right now, man. We're a club at free fall right now.
It makes no sense.
No,
listen. Villa has a better structure.
You're going to go to a 12.
Right
I don't think a right winger from the Bundesliga is going to look at
Wolves
Villa
finished higher than Villa last season.
No, Villa finished higher than Wolves.
If it was like a place.
But still, Villa look like they have a better structure right now. I don't think you would have gone to Spurs, man. We have no attraction right now.
I don't agree with that.
But the thing is,
coming from the Bundesliga, playing at Bayer Leverkusen, you look at Villa out in Birmingham in that stadium versus after Jack Grealish has left, or you can come play at Tottenham in London with Harry Kane and Son Heung-min in our stadium.
But the thing is,
it's a no-brainer, man. He would have come if we had.
No. I'm sorry. I don't think he would have come. I don't think he was interested in coming to Spurs because we were also interested in him. And that just kind of fell through.
Yeah,
I don't
so
think
Villa was 11th,
It
Wolves
fell
were
through
13th.
probably because we didn't want to meet the fee. The same reason it always.
Well, but
falls
how
through.
is that Paratici's fault if he didn't want to meet the fee? If we don't want to meet his wages, how is that Paratici's fault?
I'm not going to get stuck on Leon Bailey because I think he's a good player, but I'm not
but like you're blaming Paratici, but how is it his fault that we can't match his wages?
I'm not just blaming Paratici.
Leon Bailey's.
It also comes from Levy. But what I'm saying is, Paratici, Steve Hitchen, there are players that we can afford, cheap players out there who could do a job who we could have gotten. Why didn't we make any moves in the extended window, the domestic window? Why didn't we bring in a couple warm bodies from the championship for chump change just to fill out the roster? Because we're playing in 4 fucking competitions this season. But they didn't want to do that either. I mean, there are options here. It's not just, Levy is controlling things so we can't spend 50, 60. We don't always have to spend that much money. It's smart recruitment. Look at what Brentford has done. They have made a profit on every single player they brought in, and they just keep getting better. There's ways to do this. Well, it's not about their manager. It's about their scouting.
They have a great manager.
Well, yes,
Dr. Tottenham, that's not true. Hold on, I gotta answer this real quick. Before we signed Paratici, we were actually linked with Bailey this summer and last summer. So it's not true that we were never looking for Bailey. And then for Kogama here, she says she was in a daze after the game. Now the shock is slowly processing. Thanks to the panel for the therapy for all you guys. Thank you, Kogama, for all your support. You're a huge support to this channel and many others, and we love you.
Bro, I agree with you with buying young and championship players. But why get Paratici if you want to do this? Paratici only buys big players.
He does. That's another thing.
Well, this is what I'm saying. He should have never.
That's Luis Campos if you want to go with that method. So that's
another
Levy's
fault.
fault.
Levy. Yeah.
So
it's like getting Jose Mourinho. It's like I'm saying, it's like getting Jose Mourinho and then expecting him to develop players and not buying him made players. That's just not it's not smart business. It's like Paratici is a good DOF. He is, whether you want to or not. He had a successful tenure at Juventus, won multiple league titles.
Well, hold on. He was number 2. He was number 2 at most of those years at Juventus.
He's just not right. Not the right fit for us. He doesn't fit our club.
No, exactly. And that could be the case, but I'm not going to.
Thank you, Bryce. Not 2 seasons, 3. Thank you, Bryce. I appreciate it.
So, but I'm not willing to just, give up on him yet because he just got here. You know what I mean? We gotta see what he can do. He's a DOF. He needs to figure out the structure of the club. But in my opinion, is with Nuno, I need to start seeing a pattern of play, man. I need to start seeing a pattern of play because at least Paratici, I can look at positives. I think his signings were positives.
I don't think they're positive.
Yeah, no, wait.
I think they were
It's because of him we got Romero. If he wasn't there, he would never come to Spurs. Never.
Okay, we got one player.
Look,
we could have gotten other players though besides Romero.
Like who?
On
a cheap
budget.
Milinkovic, yeah, okay, fine. Who else?
He's not as good as Romero though.
Well, so far he's playing better than Romero this season.
And no, wait. And did you know why he didn't buy any other center back? It's because of Nuno. This guy believed in Dyer and Sanchez. So that's why we didn't buy him.
Well, you have to show me the report for that. I haven't seen that in the press.
No. Then, if he's the director of football, he needs to come in and say, these players are not good enough. You're not telling Nuno you are not going to play these players. And if Levy has a problem with it, then he should tell Levy, you hired me to do this job. I'm doing what I think is right. It's just inexcusable that manager after manager, and listen, again, it all comes back to Levy. I know I don't want to put too much blame on managers because they're set up to fail. But at the same time, manager after manager comes into this club with access to years worth of game film and statistical breakdowns on all these players. They have everything at their disposal to be able to determine who is worth playing, who is worth giving playing time, and who is not. And yet they still keep fucking playing players like Eric Dyer and Dele Alli and Harry Winks. When does it stop? When do we finally get a manager in, or a director of football in, or somebody with some balls to stand up to Levy and say, we're not playing these fucking deadwood players?
But even Paratici wanted to sell Sanchez and to get Koundé, but
he tried.
He tried, and it didn't happen. No one wanted Sanchez.
Yeah, and it's not his fault. It's not his fault.
So you let him go.
Well,
but how are you gonna?
But you can't just let him go. He can't let him go if he doesn't have any replacement, bro. Like
exactly.
So you go find a replacement.
But the thing is, no. But the thing is, no. Look, I've been hearing a lot of slander. You also got to understand he's in a difficult situation where he has
Nuno not in a difficult situation?
No, because
you can throw Nuno under the bus, but Paratici gets a pass. I don't get that.
I'm not throwing him under the bus because the thing is, Paratici, what he is doing is he is in a tough situation where he's in a club that is in free fall. He's in a club where we have to get quality players, but we don't have the draw to get quality players. But we have to get players. But he doesn't want to get just any player in, because if we do get any player in that doesn't fit his vision, we're going to have a player like Doherty. We're going to have players like, Aurier, who just become, a nuisance. He is trying to build.
How does that logic not also apply to Nuno?
Because building a vision for a football club and getting players in is a lot different than having a pattern of play. I'm not asking. No. I'm not asking from Nuno. I'm not asking from Nuno to win games. I'm not saying he needs to get top 4. In fact, I've said the complete opposite in the beginning.
So why
of the
is Paratici not telling him the same thing?
Because Paratici has a pattern of the players that he wants and that he doesn't want. He's made. So
why is Paratici not telling Nuno what to do then? If he's the one who's directing the vision, creating the pattern, buying the players, why is Paratici not telling Nuno what to do?
No, because Nuno is in charge of.
I thought he was a coward.
Vision. He is a coward because he's not doing.
That doesn't make sense, man.
No, because he's not following his philosophy. No, it's not holes, because Paratici has a philosophy that he sticks by, and Nuno doesn't. He just plays whatever fucking anybody tells him to do. That's not what a top manager does. Paratici, he sticks by the players that he wants. He sticks by the players that he likes. He sticks by the system that he likes, or not system, but he sticks by the he has a style of players that he's attracted to. It's very obvious to see. He likes young players. He likes players that have a lot of potential. He doesn't want to just get anybody that's, for the here, he just doesn't want to get anybody. He wants to get a player that he feels like that can have real potential. And he sticks by that, and I respect that. I respect that he doesn't just go for any player because he's available. It's
not about going after people because they're available. It's about going after good people who can improve our first 11.
But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, just because someone who is good and you think maybe could improve our front 11, you don't know that. You don't know the system, the team that he is building for the future.
Okay, hold on.
You don't know that.
Let me ask you a question. Juventus offered us McKinney. They offered us McKinney, and we turned them down.
Yeah, but you're not gonna trade McKinney for Ndombele.
Why?
That just doesn't.
Why?
It doesn't make sense.
Yes, it does. He's worthless for us. You saw it today. He's a worthless piece of trash.
But McKinney's
why would you keep? No, you can't.
He's not that good enough to trade.
He is.
I'm sorry. No, he's not.
What are you talking about?
He tore up Serie A last year.
No,
he was one of Juventus' key players last season.
But he's not worth trading for Ndombele.
He's better than Ndombele, who does nothing for us. You're absolutely insane, Tricks here.
At least
the logic does not apply.
90 full minutes.
We need creative players. We can't get rid of Ndombele. We have no creative players. Man.
You get rid of.
It's not just about. It's not just about.
You guys are out of your mind.
No, this isn't FIFA.
Let's bring some reason and rationale to this conversation.
You're right.
You're not.
You're right. It's not FIFA, Marcelo.
You can't just play 3 central midfielders and expect creativity. You can't sell your only creative
Will, what have I
player
walked
for
into here?
central midfielders when you
Dumpster
have
fire,
3 fucking
like
good
always.
central midfielders.
Welcome, Brian Ireland, to the show.
Hey guys, what's happening?
Oh, I got to read the super chat before we go forward. Now that there's a break in time.
I'll wait for that.
Paratici post Murata retirement ran Juventus into the ground. That is true. I agree. Poor expensive player signings plus crap manager assignments. That is also true. I agree.
All right, Marcelo, can I ask you one question real quick? Because I mean, you keep, you're talking about Paratici and you're talking about the kinds of players
I
he
just
likes.
don't think he's a fit at Tottenham, but he's a good DOF.
Okay, I agree that I don't think he's a fit, and I'm not saying that he's a bad DOF, but my problem is you keep talking about style of play, a pattern of play. You want to see that established.
Yeah, under Nuno.
Typically, well, a director of football should be the one to establish a style of
Exactly.
play.
That's exactly
And then
my point.
and the manager carries it out. And so my question is, okay, if he's not going to do that and he's going to let the manager do that, or
Why is he here?
What I said previously, either way, why bring in Nuno Espirito Santo?
No,
and
I can't. Yeah,
and then tell him not to play his style.
and I can't defend him. And that's where
It's unexplainable.
That I can't defend him. That's where with Paratici, where he severely fucked up. I don't get why he brought in Nuno Espirito Santos if he had this style of play that he wanted for Spurs. I just don't get it. It makes no fucking sense. That I could blame him for, and that is dreadful. But the thing is, Nuno is not making this club any better, man. He needs to
and neither is
go.
Paratici.
I mean,
and before I bring in Brian, because I want to hear his thoughts on today's show, because he just joined us. But Marcel, if you were consistent in placing the blame on both Paratici and Nuno, I don't think I would have a big an issue. But it seems to me that even though you say Paratici doesn't get a pass, you apply things of logic that somehow don't apply to Nuno when they're supposed to be partners.
He doesn't get a pass. No, look, he doesn't get a pass. I thought his signing of the players were pretty good. I was okay with the signings. I just thought where he made a mistake was with the manager. But with a manager position, it's a little bit different than a DOF, right? Like a manager is more, replaceable than a DOF is. That's the issue.
I mean,
and especially Paratici. If you ask me which one I'd rather keep, Nuno or Paratici, I'd rather keep Paratici because he has a better CV than Nuno. He has more experience at bigger clubs than Nuno. But the issue is he does. He's won DOF. He's won awards for being a top DOF. He's been told by many other people.
Nuno is manager of the month. That's an award.
For the guy, that's
Bloody
one
hell.
award. Congratulations to him. But he does have a better CV than Nuno. You can't dispute that. That's just facts. It does.
Wait,
That's
real
facts.
question.
But Brian
real question,
Ireland,
though.
hold on. Got to get Brian Ireland.
Oh yeah, let him cry.
So, Brian,
Hey,
tell
guys.
us your thoughts today. Who's to blame?
Oh, who's to blame? It's across the board. It's everybody.
Everybody,
It's the club is to blame. There's no unification. There's no understanding of who we are as a team, how we want to play. Nuno's made a ton of errors with the starting lineup today. Levy, as we know, just is a complete fucking shit show. So across the board, the club is currently in a position right now that is untenable. And something needs to change dramatically for us to get past this. It is as similar to a scenario where we were when I think we're going to get close to this, where we had to bring in Harry Redknapp to save us from relegation after Ramos nearly put us in a position to get relegated. I really think it's that bad, and I wish it wasn't, but I just think that's the honest situation we're in. We're not playing a formation that suits the players that are in the squad. Like playing a 4-3-3 with Harry Kane in the center of the front three, that doesn't make any sense.
With defensive mindset too.
It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. It worked really well with Sonny in that situation because of his pace and his ability to get around. With Harry Kane and his dropping deep and his lazy fucking situation that he's in because he's not happy and he's being a whingy prick. It just does. It's not working. It doesn't. It's not what the situation we're in right now with the setup and the formation. It doesn't work for the players that he's jamming into it. It's sort of like square peg in a round hole scenario, and that's where I'm at with it. I'm just watching it and I'm like, this just, if I'm the manager in this situation, and I'm the manager that is known for being really good at 3 at the back with wing backs and with the squad that we have, why isn't he doing that? Like, why are you forcing a 4-3-3? The 4-3-3 doesn't work with the players we have. Put fucking Romero in
What
the
if the
middle of
DOF
that
is telling him to?
Well, then the DOF, I don't know. I mean, that's
Well,
speculative.
you can tell him to go fuck himself.
That's
You can
speculative.
always do that.
He's the manager at all. If he has the option, the choice to determine who plays.
He's not.
in the formation.
Hold on. I gotta correct you. Technicality. He's not the manager.
Sorry,
he's
the
head
coach. But if he's the coach and he gets to decide, and we don't know this, but if he gets to decide the formation and the players who are playing in that formation, this squad that we currently have, with the players that we have in it, with Romero in it, with even Matt Doherty, who's fucking terrible, but is probably his best position is a right wing back. You have players that fit a 3 at the back with wing backs, and that's how he should be playing. Why are you forcing a 4-3-3? It doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me.
As soon as you put Kane in that fucking top of that 4-3-3, it was immediately obvious that this is not going to work.
And
not going to work.
We know
Immediately
why.
obvious.
We know why, because all the press, all the stories around when Paratici was hired came in and said he wanted to play a back 3. He wanted a back 3. And that's the reason why he put forth Nuno and wanted to bring in Nuno. And then
why isn't he doing it though? Right?
Well,
Daniel
here's the
Levy.
thing. Daniel Levy said, "Oh, a back 3, that's defensive because this man doesn't
It
know
isn't though.
fuck all about football." Exactly, Brian.
It isn't defensive.
It isn't. Well, that's what Daniel Levy thinks. And
But
so
that's what
and
Nuno.
so what and
Fuck
so
that guy.
what Paratici had to do
It's fucking triggering me there.
what he had to do to convince Levy that Nuno was the guy was show Levy Nuno's Valencia team from 2014
Yeah.
that played a 4 at the back.
4-3-3.
Exactly. And so now that's what Nuno's
Totally
doing.
different
Because
league.
that's
Totally
what Levy
different fucking
expects.
squad.
Oh, wait. Hey, Brian, I just realized, by the way, Wu-Tang forever, bro.
I saw that earlier. I was like, I'll let him know in a minute. But, yeah,
Wu-Tangers. But Brian, I have a question for you. Looking at Nuno's body language on the pitch during the match, does it look like a man who is trying to get the players to play his system?
I don't think the players trust him. I don't think that they think that he's good enough, and I think that they all look at him and go, "This is a guy who is like 6th or 7th choice or whatever." Fucking eventually, he became the manager, and I don't think they trust it, and I don't think they trust him. And you can see it on the pitch. They're not doing the things that he's asked them to do, and maybe that's because they're like, I don't know, like Dele Alli. What the fuck was Dele Alli on the pitch for today? Period. Across the board, like useless fucking start.
I'll say this,
useless.
Brian, let me ask you this. I personally thought when Ryan Mason was in charge, the players respected him more than Nuno.
Yeah, I would agree.
They don't respect the players. Don't respect Nuno at all. They look at him like.
He came in. Nuno came.
You gotta figure out how to adjust your camera, dude. Because right there, you adjusted yourself. You look like a small person, literally. I mean, you.
That's because I'm leaning down.
Nuno came into this squad, and I think he completely fucked himself because he asked all the players, why do you want to play for Tottenham Hotspur? And
get your knocks in, Simons. Get your knocks in.
Doing that, like asking players that, it's so cringy. It's such an awkward. What do you mean? Why do I want to play? Like, it just seems like he just doesn't quite. He's just not at the level enough to get the players to buy into what he's trying to do.
Also,
it's obvious.
I was talking about his body language, though. It doesn't look to me, because I would see if it was me.
He looks like he's ready to be fired.
Well, yeah. To me, what it looks like, if it was me and I'm standing on the pitch and I had directed the players to do X, X, and X, I would be pissed, right? Like, and if they weren't doing what, I'd be out there.
You want to see a Conte reaction. What the fuck?
Right, but what
tell him, Harry Kane, get the fuck off. You're not playing good enough.
But what I'm seeing is a man who's kind of like, this isn't what I want to do.
I agree. Well,
you see See, I'm telling. I see on his face every single time they zoom in on him. I fucking told you so.
Yeah,
That's what I see.
I agree.
Yep.
He's being told what to do by somebody else, and it's failing miserably.
I'm not gonna lie. I also just
Agree with that, Will.
hate
Absolutely.
his fucking. Can we just talk about his press conferences?
Oh, he's terrible.
Fucking horrendous.
Oh,
dude.
it's hard. It's
Oh,
hard to
hey,
watch.
it's better than Ryan Mason.
No.
I
He's
disagree.
worse than-
I
he's
disagree.
worse
I think
than
Ryan Mason, despite him being like annoying and like boring, fucking Nuno is just like he just wants to create an issue with everybody, and like none of it makes any sense.
And
he has real contempt for the press for some reason.
He
didn't want to talk. He wants to keep it close to home.
But at least have some sort of like sense of like cool factor, like you're in charge. Like when you saw Poch like disagree with a question, you know, always like, no, Poch is like, it's for a good reason. You watch Nuno do it, and he just like he's like desperate to not look like an idiot.
He looks like a defensive child.
Yeah,
he really does.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
And,
he's like him and Alistair Gold have gone at it like a few times. Like, oh, Alistair, like don't ask me those types of questions. That's inappropriate. And I'm like, maybe you should know how to answer those fucking questions. Like,
Well, he should understand that he's not in fucking Wolverhampton anymore.
Yeah,
you're not. You know, this is.
I think that's right.
This is fucking Tottenham Hotspur. You're in London. This is one of the biggest football clubs in the world. You know, maybe not in success terms, but at least in money and publicity. You need to be able to deal with those kinds of questions.
We're
you don't
Super
get
League, bitches.
You don't get to play it close to home here. This is box office. This is fucking Hollywood shit. You need to and again, if I understand, he took the job because he was never going to get a better offer. But if you're going to take the job, it's just like Ryan Mason when Will was getting pelters. You know, at the end of last season for, being critical of Ryan Mason, people are like, oh, you can't blame him. He's only 29. He took the fucking job.
Can I ask you guys all a really quick question? Would all of you take Graham Potter right now?
No.
Over Nuno? No question. No question.
No question.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, come on. If they win tomorrow, they're top of the league.
I will.
I don't. Actually, you know what? I'm not sure I would now that I think about it, because I don't know if these players could play Graham Potter's style.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, that's fair shot.
But
not only that, but hold on,
right? It makes sense. Style-wise, it makes sense.
But the thing is, it doesn't
it's
matter.
Progressive football.
It doesn't matter whether they can play the style. It's about setting a style of football. The thing is with Nuno that worries me is that we have no style of football.
Marcelo, if you move your mic down a little bit lower, we can all hear you.
Yeah, you're smashing on it.
No, your mic is like on the side.
No.
That's intentional? Oh, you got a different mic.
Here. Yeah.
All right.
No, so in my opinion, I think we need to set a style of play. Listen, we're not going to finish top 4. We're not going to win a trophy regardless.
Top 10 would be lucky.
Hold on. I got to correct you guys something on a little bit here, right? So Brighton
I can't get over your like clean face, by the way. Well,
I know. Blame Cody. We have Burnley. They've played Burnley, Watford, Everton, Brentford, and Leicester City, who's been
terrible.
They're lower than us, right? They're lower than us.
Leicester have been awful.
We lose to all those teams.
What are you talking about? We beat Watford. What are you talking about?
Brentford is twice the football team we are. Brentford is twice the football team.
Brentford's playing really well right now.
Yeah,
that's because they have good players.
They got guts.
Liverpool was.
They're playing for each other, man. Yeah, they scored 3 goals against the Liverpool defense. It's supposed to be one of the best defenses in Europe.
No, it's because they have Ivan Toney.
No, because they have Thomas Frank. No, they have Thomas Frank.
Very well managed.
Thomas Frank.
Because from the first day he entered Brentford, he set a style of play, and even though because Thomas Frank, even though when he went to Brentford,
I'd take him over Nuno right now. I'm not gonna lie, I fucking would.
Listen, he failed. He failed a couple of seasons at Brentford, but he stuck to his football. He stuck to his guns, and eventually it worked out. Like you can't disagree with me.
Just to counter that quickly, Marcelo, Nuno did the same thing at Wolves.
Well, here's the thing.
Faster than Thomas Frank.
You know what's the common denominator between Nuno at Wolves and Thomas Frank at Brentford? Thomas Frank, like Nuno, is not an extraordinary manager. He's not supremely talented. He doesn't have, an amazing pedigree. But both of those clubs
Have players that give a
one
shit.
singular. Well, but they had one singular vision in the at the top of the club all the way down. There was a structure in place that made sense, that worked. At Brentford, they're revolutionizing football by using data analytics and things that
Moneyball.
sports here in the U.S.
that everybody
have been
says
doing
I'm
for a
crazy
while.
for. Me and my data.
Yeah,
if we're going by your
that's-
data, then
it's-
Nuno should
it's
be
a
stopped right now because he's 20th in everything in attacking football.
Well,
Yep.
the point is, that's the thing that Brentford have, that Wolves had up until last season, is they have a cohesive vision at the football club of
Identity.
what they
It's
want
identity,
to achieve,
right?
how they achieve it, what players they go for. But we don't have that, and I don't think it's even possible for us to build that as long as Levy is in control.
Listen,
No, it's
I
not.
mean,
in my
Because-
opinion,
Can't disagree with that.
you can disagree with me, Will, about the whole sticking to the football and sticking to the guns part. But you know who I'm taking that quote from one of the best managers of all time, Sir Alex Ferguson. He said the number one thing a manager always does, he sticks to his football. He sticks to his football. Nuno is not sticking to his football. He's not sticking with his philosophy and his style of play. And he's going to get sacked before Christmas. I guarantee you that.
Well, if he's being told to play at a 4-3-3, he's sticking to his football.
No, he's not. Because he's letting outside influence affect his style of play. So he's not playing his football. Sir Alex Ferguson, all the great managers, Pochettino, every single manager.
But I think Will pointed something out a bit earlier, that he is not the manager of this football club. He's the coach. He is a bitch to everybody else who's above him, and he's being forced to do something that he isn't capable of getting the best out of, because
he looks as disinterested on the sidelines as the players do on the pitch.
Particularly Harry Kane. But
well,
yeah, I
then
agree.
he's a problem. Then he needs to get the fuck out as well.
No, the people above him who are telling him what to do need to get the fuck out.
Yeah,
But they're
stop
not
telling
gonna-
him what to do. Let him fucking do his job.
But they're not going to get the fuck out. You know what I mean?
No, of course not. We
Like-
know that already.
so we're fucked.
Yeah.
So we're fucked.
We're fucked.
Like we're
But
fucked.
I think-
End of the stream.
I mean,
But
We're
the
fucked.
thing is, I think
Yeah,
the thing is, I
Our
think we
ladies
can
team
make
was
it
playing
easier
today.
for ourselves. I think
Our
we
ladies
can-
team is first in the league at the moment, above Arsenal.
Oh, hey, even if we lost to you guys today 3-1, our stadium is still way better than yours.
Oh, sexy
Oh,
stadium.
my
Sexy
God.
stadium.
Listen, the fact is, though, I'm not going to take this excuse that he's being told to play 4 at the back, 4-3-3, and that's why he's playing it. If he's
Who do you think is telling him that, if that's the case?
I don't care who's telling
No,
you
I'm
that.
asking you. Who do you think, if that's the case?
Probably
that-
Levy. Probably
you think-
Levy.
I think it's probably Paratici now.
or
Levy.
Paratici.
Well,
Could
no,
be both,
the-
could be both of them.
the media
Yeah.
narrative is there. This is all covered in the press. Multiple articles corroborating the same information, that Paratici wanted to play a back three. He went for Nuno. Levy didn't like it because it was defensive. So he said, okay, look at Nuno's Valencia team. He can play a back four. And now here
Right.
we are.
So they're forcing
playing that
something.
formation and forcing it exactly and
Yeah.
fucking losing.
But
And-
the
Too
thing
many
is,
Chiefs, not enough Indians.
Listen, let me ask you this. At the final, who is training the players? Who is training the players?
Coach.
Nuno.
Can't tell
right?
me they don't look
Well,
fitter than they did last season. Hold on.
Who is, let me
Do
finish
they
my
or do they
point.
not look fitter than last season?
No, let me finish my point. Who is in charge of the tactics?
I
Technically.
look like I'm 12.
No. Who is in
You
charge
do.
of
You
the
look like a
tactics?
child, by the way.
Yeah,
Will.
you
It's
do look
hilarious.
really young. You look like you like. I look older than you right now.
This is the Yid Kids show.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the Yid Kid.
But he is in charge. Listen, he's in charge of the tactics. He's in charge of training the players, and he's in charge of the lineup. I don't give a fuck about the outside influence. If he has any balls, he stick by this football, and he stick by his fucking lineup, and he sticks regardless of what people are telling him. That's what Pochettino did. You can make it. Listen, we are in a
Different
shit
situation than Poch.
We are fucked. No, we are in a different situation. We are fucked, but we can make it easier if we have a manager that has, or a coach that has some balls and sticks by his football and gives us a style of play.
The
I'm
manager,
okay.
the boss, the coach has to fucking tell whoever it is telling him what to do. Not even tell him, just ignore them.
Ignore them.
I'm going to do the
Exactly.
thing that I think is with my squad is correct, and then show them why he's correct.
Exactly.
When
I
he
think
does that.
I think that's
they-
fair.
When he does that, they respond and go, "Okay, we were wrong here. Now we're starting to win games." That's what he has
I mean,
to
they
do.
can't
If he's
sack
got
him if
cojones,
he's winning. They
Yeah,
can't
that's
sack
it.
him if he's
but
winning.
show some cojones, fucking do that. Do that. Just be
Well-
like, you know what? Here's how I'm going to play with this squad because this is what I have. These are the players I have. This is how I'm going to get the best of them. And you're all going to tell me to do something, and I'm going to be like, fuck you. If it doesn't work, he loses his job, but he's going to lose his job anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you may as well go for it.
I got a point. And Brian, this is absolutely absurd. It's completely irrational. But I think Daniel Levy watches our shows.
Oh, for
Because
sure.
have you ever listen? Have you ever noticed that even in last season with Jose, as what like propelled the YouTube world tended to eventually leak into the club and follow that pattern. So either we are psychic and we're predicting what will happen, because it was like it looked like today in Nuno's press conference, like he was saying he wanted to play. Like it was quite obvious.
Psychic. Well, you lost me at psychic.
Yeah, he was quite obvious. It was quite obvious that Nuno wanted to play a Skip and Højbjerg together because he knew that the defense could leak goals, right? And that was too defensive. And then all of a sudden, as everybody in the YouTube community is railing on about it, it stops. And now he's playing more attacking players in that midfield, right? And then he's like,
which
I got to go back.
When Skip came on, we looked way more organized.
But why is the club's activity following our trends?
But no, why? No. That's not the question you should be asking. Why is Nuno allowing people from the outside to affect his tactics?
You know what's going to happen next week?
That's not what a good manager
All
does.
the players who have beards are going to shave because they've seen Will.
Exactly. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they watch my show. I'm talking about the YouTube community as a whole.
I'm just throwing it out there, Will.
Because that hasn't been my position, right? But there are the majority position on Twitter and YouTube was playing two holding mids was too defensive, right? That mantra was being chanted on Chris, on We Are Tottenham TV.
Yep.
On
Get Dembele in there,
Right? Yeah.
Like most expensive signing, make him play.
All of a
force
sudden, it happens.
And we fail.
We fail. We start leaking goals like crazy. But I just think it's very weird.
9 goals in 3 games.
Yeah, it's bad. But even last season too, at the end with Jose, right? Do this. All of a sudden, they start doing that. It's almost like Daniel Levy is up there watching all of these YouTube channels and then calls down to Jose, We Are Tottenham TV, or Chris Collins said, you should do this. Let's try that. Right? Like, I'm serious. It's really freaking weird.
I guarantee he watches Chris Callan. That's why Chris Callan will never say shit about Daniel Levy, because he gets, all the goodies from the club and unlimited access. I guarantee if there's any YouTube channel that any Spurs fan channel that Daniel Levy watches, it's fucking Chris Callan's channel. He's
makes
fucking
him feel
coward.
better about himself, probably. Yeah.
I'm not talking on behalf of Will. This is just on behalf of me, Kieran, Spurs After Dark. Fuck Chris Callan.
No, I've seen Scott in person. Scott M is not Daniel Levy.
Rants just went boom.
What? No.
Chris Callan army
my channel hit the shit show a long time ago.
No, hey, I own that. That's all me.
No, just accept it. We all feel the same way. It's fine.
I don't like Chris. I called Chris out months ago.
Yeah, I know. I don't like him either. In my opinion, look, I said the same thing about Jose, and I'll say the same thing about Nuno. You can't let outside influence affect them with the style of football. You just can't.
If you're a coach, manager, you have to fucking make the decisions, and you have to accept. Yeah. If he decided, you know what, I'm going to play 3 at the back. I know that they told me not to. I'm going to do it anyway, and then we win a game. They're going to be like, all right, Nuno, you know what? We'll let you get away with it this time. We asked you to do these other things, but you went against us, and it worked. So we'll give you a little bit of leeway, and then he gets that leeway, and then he does it again, and we win. Like if you think about Romero, he was the best defender in the Serie A in a 3.
A 3 in the back.
Center of a 3.
So
yep.
You put Romero, Dyer, Sanchez.
No, not Dyer.
No.
Just deal with it. That's who we have. We don't have any other options. I'm sorry. I don't want to say that like comfortably.
No, Brian.
Marcelo, I'm sorry I've upset you.
Brian.
Rodin and Tanganga.
Sure, I agree. Rodin and Tanganga. I'm just telling you what is likely going to happen. But play 3 at the back with the 3 best defenders that we have, and play the wing backs. Sergio Reguilon is not a good defender. He's a really good left wing back. He's not a good left back. In a 4, he's shit.
today was
When he played,
make him
when he
defend.
played
Get
three
him
in the
up the
back with
pitch.
Sevilla, he was very good. He was one of the
Get
best
him up the
left wing
pitch.
backs.
He's
Yeah.
he's got a great cross. He's an offensive fucking player. Why is he in a 4 and being forced to defend? He's not good at it. He's small. He doesn't get to the ball. He doesn't get in the way enough. It's frustrating to watch because it's obvious. I think all of us would say with the squad we have, 3 at the back with wing backs and whoever the fuck you want to put in the rest of the positions, we have enough quality there to be successful, and to play 4-3-3 we're failing at it so bad. We're not a team with the squad we have that we should be playing 4-3-3. It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd.
Hold on, before we move forward, I just want to say, go ahead
Preach.
and like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. This has been a pretty popular stream for late night. 80 plus at some points.
Yeah, people are pissed.
And then Colin, the Fu Manchu man.
Hey, yeah, what's up, dude? I had
Fu
to.
Manchu.
What's up, Colin?
Hey, how's it going, guys? I mean, we've all been better, obviously.
Struggling
but
a little bit. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, me too. Bad day. Harry Kane's. I mean, it's been discussed to death. I've been listening, but Harry Kane's really just disappointed me the most, man. Like,
he should not be playing. You know, he should be benched.
Yeah.
Until
he should have been yanked. He should have been yanked. There was a point. There was a point where he shouldn't have started. If you were going to start him, there was definitely a point.
He is the best striker.
He already wants to leave anyway.
He's the best striker in the world. Not in this formation. He's done fuck all. He looks terrible. Bench him. Make him fucking work to get it back up again. Like, why are we?
You can't do that. You can't
deserve
do
it.
that.
Yes, you can, Dietrich.
No, you can't. No,
Yes,
you
you
can't.
can. You fucking can. You
Actually,
should.
yes.
If you're a proper coach
it's
or a
as
proper
simple as
manager,
writing
you
somebody
name me-
else's name
Actually,
on
you
the
literally
team
do it.
sheet, and then
Name me
writing
one-
Kane's name on the bench.
have
That's how you
that's
do
right.
it.
You do
Name
that
me-
once. You do that
Scarlet.
once. You do that once in Harry Kane. You do that once, and Harry Kane completely flips.
Harry Kane tells you to go fuck
Leave him on the bench.
yourself.
No,
That's what
no,
he
no.
does.
You leave him on. No, I'm sorry. You leave him on the bench.
Fine, he
His
can sit
ego
out.
will
His ego will
shitty
press him
way, who
forward.
cares?
Yeah.
force him to be
Wait,
like
wait.
shit.
If he does
He
that,
cares too much about.
No.
He cares too much about his own
If
success
if
to
Nuno
not
does-
have that affect him.
if Nuno does that, I promise you, Kane will go to Levy, and the next day Nuno's gonna get sacked.
No.
Yes.
gonna happen.
Does
I
that
don't
solve
agree with
one of
that.
our problems then?
I don't
No,
know.
Yes,
Because Kane, it would solve one of your
It would.
problems, Dietrich, if you're
Couple
going
at a
to call
time, maybe
him
there.
call it Nuno to be sacked. But there's a lot of different problems there. First of all, Kane doesn't like Daniel Levy at all. It's not like he's gonna be like, Daniel, stand up for me, right?
Yeah.
They're at an impasse here, right? And number two, it has to be done.
No,
Look
it
at the
doesn't.
difference between it does. Look.
Has
I
to be
know
done.
that correlation doesn't equal causation, right? I know
Make
that.
difficult decisions.
I know that, but
Has to
it
be.
is too big of a coincidence to see performance of City, and what is the only denominator that is different? What's the only thing that's changed between then and now?
Okay.
Kane being back in the side.
It's one. Okay, and what about Watford?
Yeah, we
What
got
about
lucky in a
Watford?
lot of those games.
Watford
We
man.
got lucky. We
We
got.
got
Okay,
lucky
but then
in
there
a
you-
lot of those games.
But here's
Harry
the thing,
Kane
though.
didn't score a
If
goal
you're
in
going
Watford.
to,
But did he start? I'm just curious. Did he start or not? He didn't start. He was on the
He
bench.
came on.
He came on, but he didn't start. So that's the point. So how can you
What's the
say
point,
that?
Exactly.
though? I'm not
So
sure
he-
what you mean. What point are you making?
No, but like you're saying,
We
oh,
played
we
better.
played
Hold on.
better without.
We played
Kane.
better against Watford than we did Wolves, and we played better against Wolves than we did Chelsea.
Watford, we didn't play well.
We
No,
played
didn't.
better
No,
than we
we
did
didn't.
against Wolves.
We haven't played a single game well other than City.
No,
The City
City
game
was
were
our-
amazing
City-
without Harry
We
Kane.
played
Yes.
Watford better than we did against Wolves. We
Well,
were better against Watford than we were
because
against
it was
Wolves.
at home. That's the
No,
only excuse
no.
you can
Listen,
say.
the whole point to bench Kane is if we're going to play this shitty 4-3-3, which it is shit, and we shouldn't be playing it. But if we're going to play this shitty 4-3-3, what Nuno wants clearly is that front three forward line to be narrow and mobile and press and interchange and swap back and forth.
Don't
Son
have that.
moving out left and left coming inside and to be very close to like the Liverpool front three, the way they play. You know, they have Bobby Firmino in the center, who's a shit striker. He doesn't fucking score goals, but you know
It's
what
a
he does?
great
He fucking
false nine, though.
Great false
He's
nine.
a great false nine because he presses, he links play.
His passing is
he-
incredible.
He makes
He's-
incredible runs that draw
Vision is
defenders
good.
away to open up space for Mane and Salah. And this is what Nuno's trying to do with that front three. Kane does not
Steven-
fit.
Stephen
Kane does
Burvine
not
is the
fit
difference. There you
in
go.
But
that
we don't
front
have-
three.
We don't have Salah. Salah was the best player.
Right? We don't have a
You're
right
not
winger.
listening.
Who
But
was
you're
the
not
person that was
listening to
calling
me.
for a right
It
winger?
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When you're trying to play that style of front three, you need players that fit that archetype. They don't have to be the same level of quality. The point is that Kane, who is slow,
Oh, God,
he is
Inspector,
slow,
He is slow.
cannot play in a tight, high pressing front three. He cannot do it.
Yeah,
Kane
I
5
agree.
years ago under Pochettino,
There you go.
maybe,
That'll
but he
fix it.
can't do it now. All he can do is play as a target man and drop into midfield and pick a pass. That's what he's limited to, and he's amazing at that.
We can play
but
Lucas as a
he
false
does
nine.
not
I
work
don't
in this
fucking know.
system.
Yeah,
Play Lucas
you
as a
can't play a
false nine.
4-3-3 with Kane at the top of that 4-3-3.
No, you
it just
can't.
doesn't work.
You just
He doesn't
can't
have
do
the
it.
mobility. He doesn't have the pace. He doesn't have the. He makes himself
Yeah,
useless.
you know
in
what?
that-
You know
in
what I
that
thought?
Formation.
You know what I think? If we are gonna stick by the 4-3-3, I don't know. Maybe put Kane in as a fucking attacking midfielder.
No,
Fuck,
take
I
Kane
don't
out
know.
of it. So
He'll
put
be
him on the
injured.
fucking
Yeah,
bench.
Look, we got to
Put him
go.
in
We
the
got to
bench
go
so
in
he can
winter
have Henry
window.
his ass. How about that?
We got to go into the winter window and drop like 50 mil on
So
Ivan
annoyed
Toney.
with Harry Kane right now.
Listen. I'm a fan of Ivan Toney. I've been with you on that one, Will.
For years. I've been chanting.
yeah.
He's a great player.
I said
I
said
just
we
hit
could've
my
gone
12
since in
month.
the championship.
I just hit my 12-month membership over on Watt TV. That's how long I've been a member. Over a year that I've been a member. And my first appearance on Watt TV, we were talking about it was a transfer window, and I said we need to buy Ivan Toney.
He's a good player. He's a good player. He plays a good system.
It's amazing. Defensive, drops back in the box, tackling people over
Quick.
there.
Quick player as well.
Inspector E, how can you play?
His finishing could improve a little bit, but he'll come with time.
Inspector E is talking nonsense.
How can you
No,
play?
no. He
Oh,
said,
that's
listen. Don't
How can you
listen
do
to
it?
Inspector E.
Explain it to me.
He said
If we had a right winger,
Chelsea-
you could
he
play a
said Chelsea
4-3-3
and
with
Spurs.
Kane.
He said Chelsea
No.
and Spurs spend the same amount of money. Inspector E, you're speaking nonsense here, buddy. Chelsea spends way more money than Spurs. Like this guy.
We had the lowest transfer window of any top 10 side this year. So
Yeah, I mean,
Fucking
just it's the
spend
math
fuck
is
all.
there. You don't have to. It's not difficult to look up.
But and it's totally off
No, I
topic,
mean,
but I have to bring it up before it comes out.
Leicester and Villa.
Do you
both
agree that the
outspend us
Silhouette
and
sounds
already-
better than the SM7?
I actually think I like the SM7B better.
Maybe this one
You
just
lost
seems
a little bit of your
fuller to
low
me.
end.
Low
I
end. I
agree.
think it's more low end.
No, it's less.
I think it sounds really
Mhm.
nice. I agree with you.
I
Will.
like it. I just think it. I think I like the
I
SM7B.
think the low end.
I
is-
actually agree with Brian. I think the other mic was a little bassier. I don't know.
Yeah,
more
it's got a bit
bass-heavy.
more fullness to it.
Yeah, I like when you and I we got in the debate.
We're getting all techie here.
You can hear the high pitch.
How does
I
my
think
how
this
does,
one
how does
feels-
my mic sound? Do I sound
this one-
sexy when I talk into it really low?
I think this one sounds a lot fuller.
I have a very expensive microphone,
could
so
be
when I
wrong.
talk into it really low, it makes me sound great.
I speak too
I
loud,
have-
so
I have
I
a
try
few
not to get
expensive
close to
ones.
mine.
Yeah, you should get closer. It makes you sound better, Marcelo.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does. It really does. It makes you
literally
feel
how
fuller.
it's
Call-
literally how microphones
Listen,
work.
listen. If you hear me yell at this microphone, your ears are.
You know what it's
open.
called? It's called
gonna
pickup.
burst.
It's
It's gonna
called pickup.
burst.
Proximity
Jono,
effect.
who do
Proximity
Spurs
effect and
fans
pickup.
think they are? Well, we were the club to first win the double, first British club
Who's
to win a
Jono?
European championship.
Who
you
the
know,
fuck is Jono?
we have
Jono.
history, so just
Welcome
fuck
to the
off
show.
with that shit. Yeah,
Jono-
you're right. We
Jono
have
can
won
lick
2
ball. How about-
trophies
how
in
about that,
35
Jono?
years because our owners are fucking shit. Yeah.
We are in subscriber mode, so that means he subscribed to troll us. So we have to give him.
Oh, we have to be nice to him then.
We don't have to be
That's-
nice to him, but we just have to give him props for subscribing to troll.
Oh, props to you, Jono, for being a subscriber.
You must have a lot of really great things to do with your time.
Yes, of course we. We spent more than Liverpool, but look at our squad and look at theirs. We had more holes to fill, and we filled like
We
one
didn't
of
spend
them,
more this summer
and the
than
rest are all
Liverpool.
players for the future. So like,
We did actually spend more than Liverpool.
context matters. It's
When
not
you
just
look
a
at-
fucking
when you
number.
look at
we did spend more. We
no,
did.
no, we
Yep.
spent more, but when you look at total expenditure, right,
Yeah.
because of the players we sold, we ended up
The
with
whole
less than
net,
20
the whole
million
net
pounds.
bit,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you like
Net
measure it
spend,
all
we
together,
spent less than Liverpool
we
did.
spent less than
Yeah,
Liverpool.
And net spend
Pretty
is the
important,
issue.
that whole
People-
net thing.
I've been arguing with people on Twitter about this. They keep pushing me back to the gross spend. I'm like, that doesn't fucking matter. Because when
It's
we're
all
talking
about
about Levy and Enoch and we're upset about their lack of investment, then you look at the net spend and you see that they're not investing. They're not putting money into the
Right.
club. They're
We're
not putting
making
anything.
even.
Yeah. And I mean, it's ridiculous that Leicester and Villa both
We're
outspend us,
purposefully-
and yet we bring in more revenue than Leicester and Villa combined.
Yep.
We're
it's
fucked.
unbelievable.
Inspector
we're
E
fucked.
asking if we're
We're
not
fucked.
counting the 50 million Romero fee. Okay, never mind. DP has us here and says that it was a loan. Okay. Yeah.
Can we just play fucking Romero? Like, why is Romero not playing today?
Because he doesn't,
Well,
he
we
doesn't
should be playing
train
Black
hard.
fucking
He doesn't
three.
work hard.
Let me show you the
Work
difference.
hard, Brian.
Because
He
Dyer
doesn't train
speaks
hard.
Portuguese. That's
Let me
why.
let me read you guys some
Portuguese
statistics here.
managers, they both love Eric Dyer.
Let me read you guys some statistics here.
We love the stats
Okay.
there, Will.
Liverpool's net spend over the last 10 years is 338 million euro. Okay. Right? That's their number 2. Tottenham over the last 10 years is 168 million euro. So over the last 10 years, Liverpool has spent 2 times as
Two
much
and a
as we
half
have.
times.
338 to 168.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not.
it's close.
Yeah. Close
You know.
close to 2 times.
It's a lot.
Yeah. But twice as much have they've spent net spend than we have. 168. Chelsea, Arsenal spent our net spend in 10 years this window.
That's shocking.
Let that sink in. Our
That's
10-year net spend is what
That's
Arsenal
shocking.
spent this window.
That's shocking.
It's embarrassing.
That's shocking. That's shocking.
But they really, I don't feel like they spent that very wisely, but that's a whole other.
Well,
But that's in one
they
window.
Just smashed us. They just smashed us 3-1. I think they probably spent better
I
than
know.
we did.
I know.
Let's be honest.
I'm just.
I know
Yeah,
it's easy
yeah.
to say.
Arsenal's net spend over the last 10 years is 471
That's shocking.
million.
I'll be
That's
back.
And they've
Not
got
like
Manchester
we
City
even-
spent €1 billion.
You know, and it's not like we do smart business. You know,
I'd
Daniel
rather have
Levy.
Ben White than Dyer.
Manchester United spent almost €1 billion net spend. $1 billion.
Christ.
There are championship clubs who have spent more than us over the last decade.
Assuredly. Yeah.
162 million net spend.
That's shocking. Honestly, I don't even know how we made it top 4. I mean, thank goodness for Redknapp and
This is
It's
so the
Redknapp
traditional
and
top
Pochettino.
6 traditional top 6 sides. Chelsea, they've run 8 trophies and spent almost $500 million net spend. Liverpool, almost 340 million euro. They've won 5 trophies. Manchester City spent €1 billion, won 10. Arsenal has spent almost half a billion euro. They've won 4. Manchester United, $1 billion 4. Tottenham, less than 200 million euro over 10 years, and we've won no trophies.
but we won 1 technically.
Oh,
Not in
and
10 years.
Jono, why are you so triggered, bro? Why do you care about how Spurs fans talk? We're shit, right? So why do you care? Like, why are you so triggered?
But Will,
Please like
I
and
agree with-
subscribe. Thank you.
with all the money you just said, like if we had the same model than Lille, like when Campos had the team, like they spent like what, like 60 million, like almost nothing, and they won the league.
Who?
Like you don't have to spend a lot of money to win. It's just we spend it like on
We
the
spend
wrong
it-
place.
Yeah, we spend it very badly. And
Like
you know,
Bergwijn, 35 million.
Yeah.
Like who is the stupidest guy that wants to buy Bergwijn?
but the thing
you talking
is,
about, Will?
it's also I agree with you there, D-Trex, but it's also knowing when you do pull the trigger.
Exactly.
And you do spend that extra, couple million to get the player that, like, for example, when we were in for Mane, we didn't want to spend the extra million.
Mane,
Yeah, but,
Grealish,
Grealish,
Bruno Fernandes.
That's when when you have a play like that, that's when you got to spend that little extra to get them in. The issue is we don't do that. Instead, we say, you know what? Instead of paying 20, what was it, 25 million they wanted for Grealish, 15 million for Grealish, right? Let us, then buy fucking, did we get Jack Clark that season?
Yeah, Clark.
For like,
Yeah, something like that.
For like 10 million. It's like we choose to save 5 million more to just get a player that's completely 10 levels below Grealish. That is just stupid.
Yeah,
But
but
it's
I think
just
one thing that's changed
fucking-
for that for me is that now we've kind of flipped the other way, where we spend more money on Emerson
yeah.
Royale than Tomiyasu. And Tomiyasu, at least now in 3 games, is showing to be a far better investment than Royale was.
I agree.
No,
Tomiyasu looks better. No, Tomiyasu looks better. I agree with you. But you have Tanganga that is a right back. So why buy another defensive right back?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Tomiyasu. I know he's a great player,
He's
but he's
more
a
of
defensive right back.
Yeah.
So why buy him? That
Why
doesn't
is he
make sense.
defensive?
Tomiyasu is more is defensive right
He's a
back.
more defensive right
He's not a
back.
wing back, I think is the idea, right?
Yeah, his stats are more.
You couldn't put him
Why
in
do
a
we need
three
a
at the
wing
back
back
with
for if
wingbacks.
we're playing that if we're not playing 3 at the back?
No, but
You
you're
don't.
not gonna buy the guy if you have Tanganga. It doesn't make sense.
He's more attacking than Tanganga.
Is he?
No.
I don't think so.
Did you guys know how many goals
No,
he
but
scored in Serie A?
I agree with what Will is saying. Like, instead of buying, what was it? We were in, I think, for Mane in one season for 25 mil, and instead, I think we got, what was it, Sissoko for 35 million? Like, that's just like, what the fuck are we doing? You know, and, you know, we're in for, you know, Bergwijn for 35 million, but, you know, we don't go for guys like, you know, Rafinha, who was available at the time, or, you know, look
Rafinha's
at guys,
brilliant too.
yeah, or look guys at like, you know, Pereira, or look at guys like, you know, Leon Bailey. Like, I was a fan of Leon Bailey with you, Will. I thought we should have gone him. You know, we don't look at guys like that, and we don't spend the extra, you know, well, not even extra. We spend more on Bergwijn.
And we bought Sanchez for 42 million.
Yeah, when we could have gone to live for cheaper. Oh no.
That was probably one of the
Could have got
worst,
Diaz for cheaper.
Yeah. That Davinson Sanchez deal is just looking worse.
We
and
could have
worse all the
gotten
time.
Diaz for cheaper.
Fuck.
So I think that our top 2 signings, like
Sanchez was
have
incredible for
been-
like a season with the right people around him, but
That's
now
true.
he
He
just
was
looks like a
incredible his
With
first
Toby
season.
Amsterdam, who went
No, he was in a
movement
3.
forward.
In a 3, he was really good. There was amazing.
Well,
that
even
season.
Mourinho, even
He was good in the
Mourinho's
World Cup.
Look,
and
I'm
then we
not saying
bought him,
that's
right?
enough. I'm just saying
No, but Brian,
it looked good in them. It looked good initially. It was like,
You know why
this
he
guy
looked
looks
good?
good
because
he had fucking good players
Yeah,
around
he
him.
had 2 of the best, you
Yeah.
know, center backs in
From
the league.
Ajax
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
from the same place he comes from when it comes to like how they think about football.
Fuck it,
He
I'll
now-
take Jan Vertonghen
Toby and
back.
Yan are basically
Fucking right I
sidekicks.
would.
They hardly even have to speak to each other either. So yeah, that played a huge part of it, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's all craziness.
It is.
Well, it's just I know it's you guys talked it to death, but I came in really late. So does everyone? I mean, so the third goal.
You talk it up. I'm gonna go reload. I'll be right back.
Do it at will.
The third goal was completely on Kane.
Wrong one.
In my opinion. I mean, not completely. I guess there was a lot of other people that the ball had to go through, but he gave the ball away. In their half, and I want to look at the clip again because I was with Will. There was some arguing. I heard you guys that I don't think that his tracking back. I don't think his heart was in it. He didn't really seem like he had any.
Who, Kane,
intention
you're
of
talking
actually,
about?
Yeah, whenever he lost the ball for right before their third goal.
Dude, he looks like he's half-assing it across the board. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Everybody
man,
does.
and then he
Nuno
puts in
looks
that
like he's
slide. He puts in
half-assed
that
to me.
slide tackle. I really do think that he put it in to appear like he was putting
Like he's
that
working
work.
hard, but not
Yeah.
really doing anything with it.
That's how it read to me.
No,
And
I
agree. I think that's spot on. It just looks.
I mean,
like
I
he's
think-
just
I
going
don't
through the
know-
motions of it.
I know that, back when, like when I, was playing in high school, when I was playing rugby or football, like I knew, our games are taped. I knew that sometimes I'd fuck up, and then I was like, okay, I know I can't actually fix my mistake here, but I have to make it look like I'm trying, or else I'll get my ass chewed in film session the next day. I mean, I think that's the same kind of thing he was doing. Make it look good for the camera,
Yeah.
so you don't get as much
show
shit.
show some effort. Basically,
Who's he trying
right?
to be Tanji, like by inviting those players? He invited pressure onto himself there. I feel like, and then I don't know.
Kane,
guys,
Kane is
he
currently
keep-
a shell of himself at the moment.
Well,
He
Kane
is not-
keeps
he is
dropping deep
not-
into
he's not
these.
come back into the team. Like
Absolutely.
not even close. It's just we're watching a Harry
Is he-
Kane who has checked out but realizes he can't and hasn't checked back in again. And
is he
maybe,
instructed to drop this deep? Do you guys think?
but he's done. He's
No,
done
no,
currently.
I do not think Kane is being instructed to drop this deep. I think he.
I don't think so either.
He keeps doing it to get a touch of the ball because he's not getting service.
Because he's desperate to be involved.
Yeah, and so he drops deep, and then he's isolated with like 3 defenders around him. It keeps happening because, they saw Tottenham last season. They know, okay, when Kane drops deep, just smother him. Make sure he doesn't have a forward pass option. And then you're screwed because what is he going to do? Pass back?
For sure. In a 4-3-3, he's got nobody to go to. You don't have the players in that space. The midfield is like missing. Like, so you've got Kane dropping into midfield with essentially one other player. Yeah. And so instead of having, maybe a 2 at the base with 3 at the back and wing backs with a 4-2-3-1 or whatever you're going to do, he just doesn't have the options. And it just none of what we're doing makes sense in that.
You know how we solve it? We just got to work harder.
Hire you, Marcelo.
We gotta work harder.
Yeah, and that seems to me. That seems. It's so annoying to hear that. It's so annoying to hear that shit. And oh well, we're gonna work harder. We got to do these things. Yeah, no shit. Maybe do that in a game instead of doing it like.
I thought you guys were gonna try less hard next time.
Hey, Nuno, what was the analysis of the game? Just gotta work harder.
You gotta work harder. You gotta work harder at not being a twat. How about that?
Like, what? Dude, that guy. Oh man,
I want to like Nuno. I do. I want to give him time. I don't think it's totally
unlikable.
No, but I don't think it's his fault. I think it's like most of us agree it's what's happening above him. But that the reason he's in the job is because of what's happening above him. Like that's the reason we have a manager that was 6th or 7th choice, not first choice. And we're not going to be good for a long time.
No. Can you imagine if we had got Conte into the squad though? With his just hard ass like disciplinarian.
He would have improved a lot of players.
Yeah, well, because a lot of these fucking players would not touch the pitch. Yeah. Eric Dyer, Davinson Sanchez,
but it wouldn't be different.
Winks,
it wouldn't be different
Tongi and Dumbele. None of these players would be fucking playing.
But couldn't you argue that that's kind of the same as what happened with Mourinho last season? Mourinho was like,
no, I don't.
Hear me out. I tried these players. That didn't work. I tried these players. That didn't work. I kept trying all these different things. That's literally like what you would sort of expect to happen now is like a bunch of things aren't working. I got to keep trying different things. That's what Mourinho was doing. He was just frustrated. He's like, same players, and I can't get anything out of them. And I think that we're seeing the same thing with.
Well, the difference between Mourinho and Conte is Mourinho. One, I don't think Mourinho was ever that serious about the Spurs job. I think that if he was more serious about it, I think he let off. I think he let off a lot of those players easier than he normally would in a similar job. Because he just didn't want to deal with it.
He was trying to show that he had changed. Also, he was trying to rebrand himself.
Yeah, it was also part of a
sell himself a little bit, right? It was sort of a thing.
In my opinion,
one of the differences between Mourinho and Conte, though, is Conte wouldn't just like use different combinations of the same senior players who continue to underperform. Conte would play kids. He did it at Inter. Bring in guys like Alessandro Bastoni, who's 22 years old.
Yeah. Players who want to play.
To start at the back. He will play. If he's not satisfied with your performance, he will play a youth player. Mourinho wouldn't do that. That's what we need. We need a hard ass who's willing to
need our manager to say, Kane, you're not fucking good enough. Sit on the bench. I'm going to play Scarlett. That is an idea, right?
Conte is also a manager that you have to understand. We got a Mourinho that is on his way out of football.
Yeah. It's different situation.
Conte is still in his prime as a manager. He's still in his peak as a manager. And Conte is more flexible than Mourinho. Conte came in with the Chelsea side that finished, 8th? And then he won the league the next season, right? With the same Chelsea side. He came in with an Inter side. He didn't spend that much money on Inter. I mean, he spent money, but he didn't spend that. He didn't spend
that
much money.
He left because they didn't spend enough money.
Yeah, and he came in an Inter side that finished 4th the season before, or I think it was 4th, and then he won the league within 2 seasons. He's a guy that is much more flexible than Mourinho. He's in the prime of his career. If he came into Spurs, he would have 100%. 100%
sorted
done a
us
better
out.
job.
And Mourinho was using the club. Like people say that Bale was using us to get fitness or whatever.
That was Mourinho for sure.
Mourinho's totally just
he needed a job, right?
And he needed to put himself in the shop window, show that he had changed, that he wasn't But
He's grown.
You
He's
saw
not.
how
He's
that,
not
you saw how
that
that
sort of-
works, though.
Yeah, he's
And-
not
and now
doing
look
the
at
same
him.
shit he used to, right?
Seasons. Yeah.
And now look
and-
at him.
I agree.
He's at Roma, where he's in his playground. He can do whatever the hell he wants there. I mean, he has no limitations to what he can do at Roma. He is. They've given him the keys to the castle in a way that Daniel Levy never would. He used us, and he used us well. He'll
Yeah.
probably be at Roma for several years.
Probably win trophies before we will.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will.
They'll probably beat us in the fucking conference league in the final or something with fucking Reed.
Oh, we won't make it, Brian. We won't make it.
Hey, you
that
know
far.
what? I'm trying to be positive here. You're
We're
right.
not- we're not
No,
making-
we're gonna
making-
go
Gotta
out
be positive
to.
here.
We're gonna go out to enter your mom, and it's gonna be on the.
We're gonna
cover
lose
of
next
every
week.
British tabloid
We're
paper.
not even gonna get through the group stage. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna lose next week.
I'm joking, Will.
I think we're going to struggle. I think it's going to be a draw.
No, I think we'll win.
Listen,
think-
I think in my opinion, a manager change would benefit. The issue is getting the right manager in, or a manager that can play the attacking style that we want to watch. Because
But
at
none
the
of
end of
those
the day,
things, you know this, Marcelo. None of those things matter until that manager actually has control.
no. But the thing is,
They have to have control.
if they don't have as much control, as long as they give us a pattern of football to play and doesn't listen to Daniel
you need
Levy.
to have control to have that.
Yes,
pattern of
but
football.
to gain control, right, with Daniel Levy is you got to do it the way Poch did. You got to ignore him. You play your style, and you got to win, and then prove Daniel Levy wrong.
I agree with that.
That's what
talked about it
Pochettino did. Pochettino came in. Daniel
He
Levy
took the
was
risk.
like,
He took the
yeah.
risk.
He's like, oh, you're gonna play out of or Pochettino said, no, fuck you, fuck your mom, and then just like fucking, played his style of football, and he got fifth. Levy said, if you don't get fifth, then you're getting sacked. Pochettino got fifth, and then after that, he gained Levy's respect, and basically he took more of the reins, and Levy kind of just let him do what he
and then
he
took
let
it
him
away
do.
from him, like in the last
Yeah.
season.
They took it away from him.
Made him
Yeah.
head coach again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Changed his role from
Which is
from
fucking.
manager.
What a
I mean,
cunt. What a fucking cunt that guy is. Sorry.
he is a true closet Arsenal fan. He that guy.
I already proved it. I already posted the picture, the
Fucking
evidence.
Daniel Levy, man. What a cunt.
You guys haven't seen the evidence?
I want to see it. Yeah.
I gotta go find it. You guys continue to chat while I find
Oh,
the
okay,
evidence.
But
Well, at
they-
least if Nuno gets sacked and we get some Ryan Mason, at least we can enjoy the
see a
football.
whole bunch more. winks on this
Exactly.
picture
I
today?
just want.
Yeah,
What are
Ryan
you
Mason is more
talking about?
progressive than
Listen,
Nuno is at
listen.
the moment.
Oh.
That's
I
fucked.
am not
if I
gonna
see-
lie.
if I see
I
winks-
don't even. I'm sorry.
I'd
I'm
rather
not-
watch Ryan Mason football than Nuno
Yeah.
football at the moment.
Exactly. I'm not
That
gonna lie.
sucks.
I just care about enjoying some football again. Like
Well,
I'm just
I-
like done and tired of playing like
Do you think-
Burnley.
Do you think Ryan Mason would play more Brian Hill? Because I think that's something
Yeah.
the team
Would.
could use more of. Okay, well that
Here
would
is
be
the
one
evidence
thing.
that Daniel Levy is an Arsenal fan.
Show me
Is
it.
he gonna post
Ready?
it? Well,
Yeah, hold on. What?
You gotta share it.
Dramatic
Just
effect.
picture.
He's-
I did.
you gotta have some dramatic.
We'll struggling
Hold
with tech at the moment.
No, for whatever reason, whenever I had it full screen, it decided to
I still can't get over the fact that you
You're
look
wrong.
like you're 15 years old right
I
now.
was
I
gonna,
know, right?
For some reason, there's an old picture of Harry
There we
Kane
go.
where he has on.
You
a
look
big
like a
uniform.
high schooler, man.
You look a lot like a young
Oh.
Harry Kane. Oh shit, that's hilarious. Do you think they interviewed that guy just because he
They
looks
must
so
have,
much
right?
like
They
him?
must have. I've never seen him on any other fucking stream than seeing this.
They were
picture.
like, "Hey,
So
hold on,
that isn't
hold on,
Daniel
you come
Levy?
over here, man."
I'm pretty sure that's Daniel Levy.
It's his brother or whatever Mourinho would say. Are you Daniel Levy or Daniel Levy's brother? I don't know why I sounded like a vampire.
Unreal.
guy.
I'm pretty sure Daniel Levy's like a Spurs fan, but he's more of a fan of money than anything else. And like, so
Yeah.
all of those things trump whatever he fucking does. Like,
Well,
And-
the
Well,
new
money
thing
more than
now.
he likes
Why- but
football.
But
why
Joe-
would he take so control if he just cares about them? Like this is where I don't understand.
Because
right?
he's a greedy fucking prick.
No,
He's
but
got
the
an
thing
ego
is-
fucking out to here too, dude.
No,
You got-
greedy.
I think it's his ego. I agree with.
Yeah,
I think
that
it's
He
his
has one or
ego.
two.
He thinks
got
he
one or
knows
two
more than he
good
does.
deals in the transfer market. One or two amazing
Marcelo.
deals.
Thinks he knows more than he does.
Marcelo.
But
I
he's
am
got
the
one or
evil
two like
master.
big wins in the transfer market, and then he thinks he's a genius. He thinks he's like the transfer market guru. He thinks
He's
he
an
can always
absolute
hit these good
cockwomble,
last
is
minute-
what he is.
He is, and I don't know why he's so fucking. Yeah, I don't know. his ego is really what is letting Tottenham down.
Honestly, you know what the fans should do? Just throw popcorn at him. That's not assault, right? Like popcorn, like just boo.
Bounce it off his head from behind. Bing, bing,
I just think that we need to stop. People need to stop
like,
doing the fucking skywalk, and people need to stop buying kits from the official store. If you want a kit,
I didn't buy the kit this season.
Buy one off fucking.
I bought one in 3
dude.
seasons.
If you want to rep the team, then go get it from a fucking third party that doesn't give money to
somebody who's ripping him off because fuck him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it on eBay when it's cheaper.
I mean, I don't blame you at all.
Well,
something needs to be done.
If we continue down this path of mediocrity, I mean, the international fan base is going to stop investing as much into the club. Like the international fan base, you know, because most international fans are bandwagoners, so
especially the Korean contingent with Sonny, right?
And if Sonny leaves, if we continue to lose, it's really it's the domestic fan base that really holds the power here. And they were able to get Scholar out in the 90s. If they wanted to at least make change, if not actually get him out, but at least get him to change the way he runs the club, they could do it. But it just seems like the majority of people who go into that stadium on game days aren't interested in doing that.
Yeah, there's
I don't know.
An apathy. There's an apathy about actually making change and doing the work that's required. We saw it with the protests that nobody showed up for or barely did. They're singing "Oh Musa Sissoko" instead of actually having a fucking conversation about it.
I gave up on the fan base after that one.
That was pretty hard to watch because it's like you see what the protests were from other clubs. Even fucking Arsenal protested better than we did, and that sucks.
And it seems like, and I've been to N17. Like those people have. There's some lively. That's a lively area. There's some rowdy people there. You would have thought that maybe.
I don't think that the people that our fan base thinks that if they protest something will happen. So there's
I get that. There's a lot of apathy and
the lack of belief. The lack of belief that if I do this, it's going to make a change. This is billionaires
I've been
who own
guilty
the
of
club.
it myself a little bit.
I think we all are. I think billionaires own a club.
Though.
Why would we think billionaires are going to do something?
I think another thing is that you mentioned the area, what Tottenham is like, N17 is like. I think a majority of the 60,000 plus people in that stadium they don't live there. They don't live in Tottenham.
Man.
It's probably about half, I would say.
Because I mean, do you think the majority of the people who live in Tottenham can afford the most expensive season tickets in the league?
And N17 is a poor area. It's not a place where everybody's got a ton of dough to fucking chuck at a
and this is the thing, and this is my whole thing on the stadium, and why I'm like, we have it, so whatever we can. It's not going anywhere, but I think it should have never been built because I think the building of that stadium and the expansion of the amount of people who could go in there and the raising of the prices to attend games, all of this has helped change the actual demographics of the match day fan base in Tottenham.
Yeah, it's taken away from the energy of the fans and like what they mean to the club. And
exactly,
and
there's thousands of
30,000 at the lane were 30,000 who
before.
wanted to watch the football club play football.
Exactly,
not the tourism that has been created. That Levy, with the boxing match that happened, the other night.
I'm not so upset about that. They've been hosting boxing matches at White Hart Lane for like over 100 years. I'm cool with bringing in some more money if I was. Sure that money.
But it's valuing that over the football club.
Yeah, no, I
that's the problem.
I get you. Real quick too, I just wanted to.
I have no pro.
Oh, there was somebody in the chat asked why Dele is still at the club, but that's only because Daniel Levy, his valuation of him is ridiculous.
He thinks everybody's worth more than they are.
How much do you think Levy would want for Dele? What's a bid?
35, 40 million, probably.
50 million.
I was thinking 50 to 60. I'm not even kidding.
I even think 30 to 40 is really high. I think Delhi right now, his value is probably around 25.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to be realistic.
And this is part of the problem, right?
I agree. It is
in
generous,
modern football,
based on what he's done, right? Like that still comes into. I don't agree. I think
he's still riding a little bit off his past success. Yeah.
And this is the part of the problem. Because in modern football, you have two choices of what kind of club you want to be. You can either be a big spending club or you can be a selling club. We're not either. because you can't be a selling club if you're constantly overvaluing your players, putting
and then buying
unrealistic
garbage
price
as well.
tags.
Yeah, exactly. You either
Poor
have to do one of the
poor
two you said,
recruitment
or you have to recruit
and
well. If you're not
overvaluing your player, your
definitely,
players,
you either have to spend big, be a selling club, or have just great recruitment and then a great academy, and then be able to kind of self-sustain that way. And then whenever you like Brentford, like some of these squads, whenever you lose a player, you have another one, and you have
Southampton's a really good example. They've kind of fucked it recently, but they've been really good at selling their best players, bringing in new players, keep the cycle going. Ajax does the same thing.
It's something that the German clubs thrive off of that model.
Dortmund's a good example of that for sure. They've been doing
RB Leipzig,
exactly, and this is the reason why all the Italian clubs are failing, because they failed to adapt to this new paradigm in football where you have to choose one of these. So
it's also though the Italian
Italy that are failing.
The Italian league has its own issues when it comes to like
of course
TV deals and how much money they make and what it means to like make money.
They're not getting the viewership
but this
that
is one
the
of the
Premier League
major
is getting.
issues.
It's a lot of issues.
Yeah,
it's quite different. It's quite different.
A ton of issues in Italy.
It's kind of like
one of the problems is that these clubs haven't. One of the problems is that these clubs haven't made that decision of what kind of those three different types of clubs
Who are
they
we?
want to be,
and what do we want to do? Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I do think Spurs, Tottenham as a club are in a transition to try to go from one of those things to being a feeder club to being a club that is that is at that sort of upper echelon, is willing to spend money. We're right in the middle of it, and they haven't committed to doing one or the other. So it's failing considerably because of that. Like, instead of saying, hey, you know what, we're going to keep doing this, we're going to build up players through the academy, we're going to sell those players, we're going to get the best players, and then we're going to rebuild each season. We're kind of like, we want to be huge because we got this new stadium and we're going to be in this big club, and then we're like, but we're not good enough to be that big club. So we're kind of like, you sort of like, it's like a stuck in the middle of nothing to in a sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. They spent all that money on that training ground, the training facility, all the top level staff.
I think they're all fucking spoiled because of that shit too. That's why we see like poor performances. They're spoiled. They're like, look at all our lush. Like, I fucking stayed at the training ground last night, and
that's nonsense. Look at the City players. They're they have the same state of the art facilities.
But they got a real manager.
Yeah, they got a real manager who instills real fucking mentality into them.
Yeah.
Listen,
also mediocrity is not accepted at Manchester City.
By the way,
players,
if you do want to get
they will
memberships,
sit, and they
the
will
link
be
is
sold.
in the subscription or in the description.
You got subscriptions on the brain, man.
I want to ask Will this, because he's a man of stats, right?
Okay.
We are currently in almost every attacking stats 20th in the league, right? Do you think Nuno could be doing better with the squad that he has? And I want to ask everyone this. I want everybody to answer this.
Could Nuno be doing better? I think that if Nuno was unfettered, I think if he was unfettered and was able to operate in the way that he wants, we would probably be a little bit better. Yeah.
No.
You don't think he could be doing better than 20th in the league?
I honestly think he's the squad that he has. If he had cojones as a manager, he could just make decisions, and knowing that those decisions would succeed because he's confident, that would make the club better. That would make the team better. I don't think I think he's like lacking confidence because of what happened at Wolves and because of what's happened at Spurs so far. I literally, like, as much as I want to trust the guy and I want to back him, you always want to back your manager, I just fucking don't right now.
He doesn't seem to have like a big manager mentality.
He's not confident. Like, if you're even when Pochettino struggled for the first little while before that Villa game and Harry Kane got the deflection goal and all of a sudden things changed. Pochettino always carried himself really well with confidence. Yeah. He doesn't do that. He looks scared all the time. If you're a manager of a top club, you can't look scared. You have to be, even when you fuck up, you have to be like, yeah, that's my fucking problem. I fucked up and I'm fine with it. Here's what I'm going to do to fix it. He just looks out of his depth. He doesn't look like he knows what he's supposed to do.
Even Mourinho at his lowest
freaks me out. Yeah,
I think he could do better because, like, for instance,
Freaks
in
me out.
2019, 2020, Wolves were 8th in the league for scoring. They were also where, let's see.
The thing about Wolves, though, is when you're managing a smaller club, the expectations aren't the same.
smaller.
And this is
It's
where
less
he looks
pressure.
out of his depth. He
Well,
looks
and his
like
team was
he
playing
doesn't know
for
how to
him.
deal with a large club. He doesn't know. He's like, oh my God, all this pressure. At Wolves, it was like, it's Wolves. They just got.
We're just
got them
happy
into
to be here.
Yeah, he got them into the league, and now I'm like, I'm.
This is
managing
second
Wolves.
season.
Look
This
at me
is
go.
second
Look at
season
me
in the
go.
league, right? Second season in the league, and he was in the top 10 in most offensive statistics, right?
Yeah.
And then when you get into defensive statistics, like clean sheets and stuff like that, I think he was like number 1.
Yeah, they were really good, but he brought that team from the championship to the Premier League, and he had a system that worked really well with the players he had, and he knew what to do with them.
He organically
Form
grew
and
the
trusted
team.
him, too.
Yeah, he's been chucked into this like Spurs fucking mess,
Shit
which
show.
it's a mess. It's a fucking mess. And if you're a manager in this situation and you've never dealt with that before, which it clearly seems like he hasn't, he doesn't know what he's out of his depth. He doesn't know what he's doing. It looks like it. He's responding like that, and that's worrying for me. I'm like,
I don't think it looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. I think it looks like he's just interested. Like he doesn't want to be playing the way he wants to be playing.
Will I look at him on the sidelines today in the game, and when
He looks scared.
Arsenal scored, the look on his face was like, I completely got this wrong. Like he looked like he knew he completely fucked up and didn't respond to that fuck up until
That's criminal.
halftime. Like
I think it's not just that. He looks to me like he realizes the impossibility of the situation he's in. It looks to me that he realizes that he either goes against his bosses and risks getting sacked for that, or he does what they want them to do and continues to lose and then gets
The
sacked.
risk is there.
That's-
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
just needs to make
he's
a
caught
ballsy
between
move
a
though,
rock and a
because
hard place.
but both
I
places,
think
the
he
rock
could
and the
do
hard place
better
are both
if he
getting
played-
sacked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the answer is to say fuck it. I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And if I do that and it works, they won't care. If I do that and I fail, I'm going to get sacked anyway.
Can I also say?
But that requires the confidence of a big club manager, like you said, Brian. And I agree with you. I don't think he has it.
I don't think so either.
The thing is, a big club manager, what they do is they walk into a situation with massive pressure, with
look at what Tuchel did at Chelsea.
A, B, and C.
Fucking
Yeah,
Lampard,
exactly.
right? Lampard
you
was
just
failing miserably. He walks in with the same group of players, and he fucking wins Europe. He wins the
and
fucking
you just-
Champions League. The
and-
same
and-
By
upset with
playing
how good of a coach
extremely
that guy is.
defensive
Doesn't matter.
oriented
Extremely
Doesn't matter.
defensive, counter-attacking
he
football.
recognized the squad he had, and he made the adjustments with the squad he had, and he won the fucking.
And let me tell you something, Will. Let me tell you something.
That's elite. That's elite.
Let me tell you something, Will. When Chelsea hired Lampard, they hired Lampard because they wanted a young manager with an attacking mindset, with fluid style, right? That's what their vision for Chelsea was. Tuchel came in with a different mindset. Chelsea were pressuring him to play an attacking mindset. Tuchel said, "No, I'm going to play my style." And guess what? He won a Champions League.
You know what the difference between that and us?
But what can Chelsea? But what can the Chelsea board say to him now? What can they say? Oh, your football is
Nothing.
wrong. Oh, your football sucks.
But they
He
don't
won
have the
a Champions
DOF.
League.
Thank you for that.
They don't have the DOF. They have Abramovich who buys players for now,
Yeah, it's different.
Right.
It's a different situation.
and
it's
he
a
doesn't
different-
get in the matter of football, right? He'll let you do. He'll. This is what I like about Abramovich, right? He will stay out of your way and give you enough slack so you can hang yourself, and then he'll sack you without even thinking
Yeah,
twice.
that's a good show.
Yeah.
I agree with
Yeah.
that completely.
Right?
Yes, yeah.
He doesn't get in your way. He doesn't tell you what to do. If
I'm going to let
screw
you
up,
do it, but
he'll
don't
let
fuck
you
up.
screw up. But if you
Basically,
screw
right?
up, you're fucking gone, right? Like, and it's not even like he'll wait. Like you're gone the next day.
Oh, it's
Right?
he's got a very ruthlessness. A lot of ruthlessness.
I like
that.
ruthless.
I like
honest.
Will,
He's a
Will,
great,
I
great
like it.
Will, I
glory
can tell
owner.
that that's a saying your parents used when you were growing up as well.
What?
Give you just enough rope to hang yourself.
No.
That's
our
oh
parents
no.
never
Oh,
used
okay.
it. No,
Oh
no.
my
I
god.
use it all the time though.
I used to get that from my mom all the time. Oh,
Yeah, no, I was always too smart to hang myself. Unfortunately, I wish I wasn't as bright. Maybe my parents would have told me what to do a little
It's got a
more.
little dark.
That's a subtle flex.
Big up Will for the.
I just wish my parents would have told me what to do more instead of me trying to,
You figured it out, buddy. You figured it out.
Yeah, I figured it out. But
Look at your
still.
channel now. Look at how good you look on camera with the lights and stuff.
Yeah, you look young. You don't look like you're stressed.
No beard.
I was say we can see your whole face.
You look like a child, but
I have some mustache you can borrow if you need
a
some.
successful child.
Well, it's like 3 days growing. It'll be back eventually.
Can we also get to the players? Because I feel like we also like kind of just.
That's true.
Give them a pass
Let's look at the squad. Like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I watched some other squads. Like, I actually like and I'm like I watch Brentford and I watch like Brighton. I watch all these like really below. Like, let's not get it twisted. We have more talented players in those teams, but I watch them. I'm like, you know what? Why can't our players run like they do? Why can't our players?
But that isn't that
because they have a better mentality.
Isn't that it's mentality and management at that point, isn't it?
I don't think it's
like
management.
I know, but
we
like,
have the qualities, so I know you don't want to like admit that it's it's the fucking man. It's the manager is the one who inserts that into the players and gets them to do a certain thing, or at least that's their job.
But it's gone down to 3 managers, right? Pochettino, he brought that mentality, but then it died away, right? So then he got sacked. Then Mourinho came in. He brought the mentality a little bit, but then it died away.
You got a few months out of it. You got a few months.
And then he got sacked, and then now Nuno can't get it at all.
Well, the bottom
Got
line
it for
is
a couple games.
The bottom line is it doesn't matter
game.
what
One
manager
game. One game.
does. Some
One
of these
game.
players have just fucking been here too long.
Yeah.
And they will not improve. They will never get better because they're set in their ways. This happens to players. There is a window in which you can develop talent. After that, the mistakes that become part of a player's
Lean
game,
and clean.
and they cannot be weeded out. And this
But the
is
thing is,
Sanchez's
Terrence,
clumsiness.
I think
Dyer's
guys,
lack of ability to track a ball and notice what's going around him, his tunnel vision.
I
These
think the
things will
identity
never be trained out of these players.
I think the
They
identity
will
of
always
Spurs.
have those problems.
I agree, and I think the identity of Spurs is the biggest issue. Is Spurs are trying. This club is trying to identify themselves as a big club from a position where they were a small club, and they don't know how to adjust to go from one to the other. And the players epitomize that. They don't understand how to think that way because they were in a small club and then they like slowly started to potentially become a bigger club. But there's that transition just hasn't worked for Spurs. Like, and the players who are still here, like you guys said, that transition with them still here, we need to move on. We need to move on from the Pochettino players. We need to be like, Dyer needs to go, Sanchez needs to go, like Mora needs to go.
We
All
don't
these
play
players
like a
are
big
still,
club. There's no.
but it's mentality, right? It's like it's trying to convince them that they are a big club, and they don't seem to understand how to be that. It's like this weird,
no
weird
swag,
fucking-
no swagger from us.
weird
no
mentality
anything.
thing. I know a mentality
the
always
only-
comes up, but it literally is that. It is a mentality. It's just
The only
not knowing
Pochettino
how to
player
be
that
the.
should still be here is Son.
I'm not gonna say like, oh, look, some of these players have been here for too long. But you look at other clubs, and there's players that been there for for their whole career. But like
That's my point. It's not
they still
about the
play for
players.
badge. They still play for the like. What is it with this with Spurs and just
the
Spurs in
management.
particular, where these new players come in, and it's just not old players. New players come in like Nobele, Bergwijn, etc. Right, and they come in with this attitude that they can just slack off at Spurs. Like I just
Right, but it's
don't
the management,
get
and
it.
by management, I don't mean Nuno. I mean like the actual management.
Yeah,
of the
the
club,
actual
right.
culture.
It's Daniel Levy's culture.
It's the culture he creates. This like he treats it like it's a Hollywood acting agency instead of a fucking football club. I mean, if these players go to, I mean there are name any number of bigger clubs across Europe. The best example I think is Bayern. You cannot go to Bayern and perform below expectations.
Yeah.
It will not be tolerated.
Well,
And
I mean,
you
what it
know
is-
that the moment
It's an
you
ethos,
walk in
right?
the
Club
building,
ethos. Like
you
you
can
have to
Club
feel
ethos.
it. You can feel it in the air and the attitude that every single person, from the janitor to the lunch ladies to everybody, has that attitude of excellence every day, and they and they have the fear
culture.
that comes of the consequences that will come if they don't perform to the best of their ability.
But not only
We
that,
don't
not
have
only
that
that,
talk.
what it is too
It's too
is
laid
this.
back.
Yep.
is that Daniel
100%.
Levy is too attached
100%.
to the players.
And also
they're
that
his
training
boys.
ground, that
He's
training
almost like a
ground,
fan.
that
He
training
almost
ground,
comes out
the
like a
training
fan.
ground breeds that comfort to some extent. Oh,
Yeah.
best training ground, best stadium, and you're like, everything's so comfortable for the players. They don't have to feel like they have to work that hard. It's not grinding. It's not difficult. It's not a challenge. It's kind of like everything's so nice. I'm at the training ground and I get all the food I want. Like it's not gritty. It's not hard. It needs to be hard. They need to know that like there's work involved in being successful at a club, and to make that club successful, you have to dig in. You have to do these things, and that just isn't part of the culture at Spurs at the moment.
At least when we had Pochettino, despite the training ground being all cushy, and
He pushed that.
Daniel
though.
Levy's culture,
Yeah.
he ran.
He did.
To use an expression from one of my old football
Except the
coaches,
last 12
he
months.
ran their dicks in the dirt.
Yeah, but he ran out
dirt.
of that. He ran
And he
out
didn't mind playing the youth. If you weren't playing well, if you were an established player and you weren't buying into his shit, and you weren't putting like forth the effort on the pitch, and you weren't performing, he would throw in Nabil Bentaleb.
He ran out of that though,
yeah.
but he ran out of that when the stadium was built, when the stadium was
Yeah.
done, and everybody got we're all there now. We've got to the stadium, we got the
Yeah.
training ground.
Sure.
Look at us, this is a great job. I saw an interview with, and I'm sure you guys, some of you may have watched it. It was a Spurs fucking propaganda interview with Lucas and Emerson, and he was talking about how great it is to work at this club. He was, and it wasn't like of course he's going to say positive things, but his idea was like, this is a great place to work. It's really great. We have this great training ground, this great stadium. And you're listening to that and you're going like, yeah, that is true. But that is it makes it so easy for them, right? Like you're coming to a cushy job. It's cushy here to work at Spurs. You're like, I get like a 4 or 5
That's true.
4 or 5 year contract on 50 grand a week, and that's enough for me to like be comfortable for the rest of my life. My family's going to be happy. My kids are going to be happy. I get to go to this beautiful training ground week in, week out. I get this beautiful stadium. I get no
perfect example.
But I get no accountability if I fuck up anyway, because like it doesn't, the winning mentality doesn't seem to matter that much. So they just get away with it.
Depth,
they just get away with it.
And not having competition for places is a huge part.
You know
of
what
that.
I think needs to happen? I think we also needed to change some I don't know, something in training. I think it's also something to do with training, because when Pochettino came in, and I remember Denny Rose, he said in the Watford interview, he said it was impossible to have a bad training session with Poch. He just wouldn't allow it.
Yeah. If
you had a bad training session, you got back in there. You're not playing, or you got back there until you had a good training session. So in my opinion, now you see with Nobele or Dele Alli.
How the fuck does Ndombele not play like an entire preseason game as now is starting?
Great question,
dude. Come on, everybody was screaming for Ndombele to start like 2 weeks ago.
I was not screaming for him to start. That's not.
I mean, you may not have been, but everybody else was.
I've been screaming for him to go, bro. I've been screaming for that guy.
I want him to be sold.
I want him to be sold.
I want him to be sold too.
Once he was here,
there's 3 players I would keep. 3 players I'd keep right now: Son, Reguilon, and Højbjerg.
I might even throw Lloris in there just for another season.
None of the new signings.
We can keep the new signings. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm talking,
but old
from
school
last
players
season
that have been here for fucking ever and who don't deserve to be with the club anymore.
I would sell Reguilon, I swear.
The reason why I was crying out for Ndombele is just because we had absolutely no creativity, and I know that he offers some. I know that it's not consistent. The 2 or 3 nice through balls he puts in a game.
Yeah, when he wants.
Dribbling through like 3 or 4 people and then losing the ball or passing.
Tanguy is the epitome of what our club is currently when it comes to the players that come to our club. They get to do what they want when they want, and there's no consequence.
He's all flash and no substance.
He should have been like, what do you mean you're on a contract? What do you mean you don't want to play? Get the fuck out of my club. If you don't want to fucking play, if you don't want to show up for preseason to get fit to start the season well, get the fuck out of my club. What are you doing here?
Did you guys see in All or Nothing the little part where Daniel Levy sits down with Ndombele and the interpreter in the documentary, and Ndombele is talking about how
it's like a little spoiled child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, I don't really
That's
like
exactly
it
what it
here.
is.
I'm trying as hard as I can in training, and I'm still not playing. And Daniel Levy goes off on some story about how
Like he's his dad or something.
yeah, like he
Fucking weird.
failed a test in
Fucking
school,
weird,
but
man.
then
Life
ever
is like
since
a
then
box
he
of
was like,
chocolates.
yeah, it was
You
just
never
so
know what
Let-
you're
let-
gonna get.
It was
Let
just
me ask you this.
bizarre. Like, what the fuck?
Any of you,
You're
any
his
of you-
boss.
yeah,
You sign
any of
his
you-
fucking checks.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I'm about to say.
get to work, you whiny bitch. What do you
Yeah.
mean you get to like, oh, I had kids or I had a kid and I don't have to go to work anymore? That's not how it works. You get paid. What does he get paid? 200 grand a week.
I mean, for
He wants to
one-
be I'm telling you, Daniel Levy is
I
such a
can understand
narcissist
if
that he doesn't have
he's
any real
served.
friends, so he has to buy them for his football club.
Exactly. That's
But
really it.
what
He
I'm
doesn't have
saying
any real
is-
friends.
What I'm saying is, in Liverpool,
Fucking hell, mate.
in Liverpool, Klopp, I think he has, and this is not confirmed, but I'm pretty sure he has someone on board where every player he signs, they do a background check on them to see what type of personality they are.
Poch was
Klopp-
like that. Poch was
Klopp
like
used
that.
to do that
That
as
isn't
well.
a bad thing. It's just they're not
Yeah.
doing it right.
No,
Well,
yeah,
then-
exactly.
Then
But
how
like,
the fuck did Belly fall through the cracks? Because
And-
every manager he's ever had
He's
since
been
like
useless.
a teenager
Poch
has
was
said that
dying
he
for a
doesn't.
Dembele replacement, and he was like, "Oh, this
Poch
is
signed
this
him.
guy's sort of similar."
Well, that's.
But
well,
I
that's
think
what I'm
under
saying.
Poch,
If
he would have been fine, probably. Under
Yeah,
Poch,
he probably
Poch
might have
as
been able to get-
not Poch in the
get more
I
situation.
don't know. He
was
got
in.
fired.
His Poch was crap for the last while. Let's be honest, and he lost the dressing room.
24 points in 12 months.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get
yeah,
that.
but the thing
But
is, for
Poch
me,
at his peak, if Dembele left, went to China, and you replaced him with Dembele, and we were still where we were, he would have been perfect.
in
It's
my
just,
opinion,
it's just we had lost our way.
you think he would have been
Poch-
able to keep up with the 2-a-day training sessions?
Poch,
I think I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Poch would
I don't
have. I think Poch would have
I don't know.
made Lo Celso a better player. I think, but I
What
also
happened to
think
Lo
Argentine
Celso?
connection.
He's
I
garbage.
don't know
That's what
because
it is.
no, he's
Terrible.
not garbage. It's because
He
he's
is
being
garbage.
played. He's being played
He's
in the
not
wrong
garbage.
position.
He doesn't have
He's
a
being
position.
He's
No, no,
playing in
he
the
has-
same position as he does for
No.
Argentina.
No, he's
He's
playing in the
not.
wrong.
They don't
he's
play
not.
a 4-3-3 in Argentina.
He doesn't. He doesn't. He
They
doesn't.
don't.
He's not.
He plays on the right side of a
He
4-2-3-1.
He plays
Yeah, but
really
we're
well.
not playing a 4-2-3-1. Well,
We've
are
played
we?
him on the right side as a right winger several times, and he's still been garbage.
Listen,
He was our best player when Jose Mourinho came in for like
Listen.
a good like 3 or 4
Yeah.
months.
I think
Yeah,
Poch
there
would
we
have
go.
gotten the best out of him.
I know. So he has it. He's
Yeah.
got quality.
2 seasons ago.
I know. I'm not. Hey, look, I'm not
And
saying we
whenever
shouldn't
he
get rid of
plays-
him.
no, no,
Will.
but-
I agree.
But
He
whenever
was
I'm
also
saying
one.
there's
He was
quality
also
there,
one of,
but-
if not the best player in the League Cup final against Man City.
he was
yeah,
also a
which
good
isn't
player.
saying a heck of a lot, but
He was.
He
also one-
was. It
he
was
was a
him
good
and
player.
Lucas. Him and Lucas were like
from
the
an
ones who
effort
were
perspective, at the
performing
very
most.
least.
No,
Yeah,
listen,
in that game.
For Argentina, he's also a good player. For Argentina, he's also
No,
a
in the
good player.
Copa, he was
All right,
brilliant.
look. Okay, look. This
He's
I gotta say this,
Good
and I gotta
player,
say it
man.
loud. I don't give a fuck what these players do in international duty. I only care about what they do at the club.
Yeah,
Well,
I
which
don't
is
care
totally
if
fair.
Gio
It's fair.
scores 35 goals a match for
Will,
Argentina.
you have to like if you see a player that has quality in those situations, you recognize that there's quality in that player. So the system he's
Well,
in at Spurs.
well,
let me
I think
finish,
that's
let me finish.
relative, right? Because
But-
common
but
ball
it is
is
relative, but-
Argentina and Brazil.
It is
It's just-
relative.
For sure, but he plays in a specific system that works, and he looks really good in that system. We're not playing a system that is good for Lo Celso at the moment. I'm not saying we should. I'm not saying we should build our system around him. He's kind of fucking useless in a 4-3-3. He doesn't really offer anything. Again, that's another problem with our system right now.
Well, the thing
We're
is, Brian,
not playing in a system that suits the players we have.
exactly.
And that's fucked.
That may be the case. 75% of the teams in common ball are dog shit.
Hold on. Well,
Sure.
let me finish. Let me add to Brian's
Doesn't
statement
change
there.
that he's not. It doesn't make him not good.
Let me add to Brian's statement there. Are we
In a system.
even playing any system that is benefiting any player
No.
at all?
No,
We're not.
we're not.
We're
That's
not
my
even
Sonny's
playing a
still
system.
scoring.
We're not
fucking
even,
4-3-3 is
Yeah.
absurd.
we're not even
We are
playing a
not
system that
Liverpool.
benefits Kane. Kane.
Son
for
is still
fuck's
scoring.
sakes.
Son
Yeah.
can play
Son-
in pretty much
Son
any
is
system.
scoring-
Son is scoring
system.
despite our
Yeah.
Okay,
system.
so Son is better than Kane, then, is what you're saying.
Well, I always claim
in this
that.
system, in a
I've always
4-3-3,
claimed
in a 4-3-3, I would take Kane out of it and put Son at the top of that, and I think he's better in it.
I've always said Sonny is the most flexible player in Spurs. You can play him in any system.
I think Harry
he
Kane
can-
Harry Kane needs to play in a 4-2-3-1 or a 3 at the back with wing backs and with 5 in the midfield, where him coming deep and there's players who will go beyond. that will work. Right now, the system we have, if 4-3-3 with Harry Kane at the head of that is useless.
Or he needs to play up top with a second striker. He needs a second
4-4-2.
striker who can draw
Let's do a 4-4-2.
a center back away from him, so he's not too
Lo
much
Celso-
all
Lo
the time.
Celso
He can
best
actually get him
season.
the ball in the box.
Yeah, Lo
Yeah.
Celso's best season was when he plays a second striker.
I've
He
said this.
scored
We can,
so many goals against with
we should
Real
be
Betis.
playing
that's
a
his
3-5-2 or like a 5-3-2, and you can play Kane up top with Son. You can play him up top with Dele. You can play him up top with Lo Celso. All of those guys could play as a second striker off of Kane.
If we play a
And we get more out
4-3-3
of
next
them. But
next game against any team we play against, if we
He
play a
has to go.
4-3-3,
He has to go.
I'm gonna be like, dude, seriously, like
Yeah, he
you,
has to go.
you cannot. We're a bunch of YouTube fucking pundits talking out of our ass on a late night Will fucking stream. THFC rant.
No, I've been telling him to play
and
three
we,
at the back
and we
all-
know better than fucking Nuno. I mean, come
all
on,
season.
dude. I can
That's what
see
makes
the
me
players
think-
you have.
But that's what makes
obvious.
me think that somebody is behind him chirping in his ear.
No, and I agree that that's the case.
we
but
all
if-
know who it is.
But you
We
just,
all know.
you know what? You just tell the manager or the person who's telling you to do your job a certain way.
I got no problem saying that.
Fire me if it fails, and then make sure it doesn't fail.
He's gonna fire him anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
I got
That's
no
my point.
problem. I got
Fire me if it
no
fails.
problem saying that he's a coward.
Total
Right?
coward.
But I don't think it's his fault. I think the problems
his
are above
fault.
his
He-
shoulders.
No,
you know what?
His
Well,
fault.
it's not his fault up until the point where he has an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to get fired anyway. I'm going to do what I want to do because it's good for the fucking club. That's when it becomes his fault.
Yeah,
Because he's
hold
then,
on,
he's
Will,
then
how-
decided
Will-
to make a bad decision. And that's the
Well,
point.
how is it not Nuno's fault to not play a back three despite the wishes of Daniel
Well, if he's being
Levy or
told, if he's being
Paratici?
told.
If his
But how is
DOF
it
is
not-
telling him
let me
to play a
ask you this. Let me ask you-
4-3-3,
Let me ask you this: if
but
your
how
friends-
is it
if your
not
friends
his
are
fault?
telling
But
you-
it was Ryan Mason's fault to play Harry Winks.
because there was no DOF.
There was
Let me-
Daniel Levy though.
Let me ask you this:
It doesn't
a bit
matter.
different.
We all know that Daniel Levy was in his
No,
ear
it's a
telling
different
him
thing.
which players he wanted to see.
No,
It's
a different
the same
situation.
thing. It's still your boss. Either way, it's your boss, the guy who can sack you from your job.
if your
it's the
friends tell
same
you to
level
do
of-
drugs, and
Ryan
you do
Mason's
it,
going to
you
get
blame-
sacked
you
with
blame
6
your
games left. I
friends?
don't think so.
Come on now, he's in
Well,
control
I
of the
mean,
lineup.
what if they were
He's in
really
control of
good
the-
friends?
We don't have a
and they really
manager.
made
Who are
the
they going to
drugs
hire?
uncool?
Ryan Mason is scraping the bottom of the barrel there. Where are you going to go? They're going to bring in the U13 manager? I mean,
Sure.
come on.
Let's
Well,
just-
Ryan
let's
Mason
bring
could have
fucking
lost his
Harry-
post in the
let's bring Harry
academy if he
Redknapp
went
back.
against Levy. You never know.
I would take Harry Redknapp back.
Nuno needs
Me
to
I
too.
love
Get your
having
gang
Harry
back
Redknapp.
together. I think Crouchy's got more in him than Kane's had lately. I'd rather have Peter Crouch for fuck's sake.
Nuno needs to get his head out of his ass and
Yep.
make a decision despite what he's
I
being
don't
told.
disagree. He should.
That's the reality.
And
He
that's
should
his
man
fault.
up, ball up,
Yeah.
stand
Fuck
up, do whatever.
Fuck it. I'm going to
We
lose
got
my
10
job
minutes
anyway.
left.
If I'm going to get people to win, this is what we got to do.
10
I
minutes
don't-
left
I'm
in the
thinking
show.
Villa.
Final thoughts one time around the circle. Where do you think we go from here, Marcel?
We're gonna lose against Villa. He's not gonna change his system because the Wolves fans warned us that he's a stubborn manager and that he doesn't change his system. That was another big problem at Wolves. He's gonna get sacked. Ryan Mason's gonna come in. He's gonna play a little bit more attractive football. I'm gonna enjoy life a little bit more. We're gonna go through an up and down period, and we're just gonna be a free fall. That's where I think the club is gonna go. We're just gonna be in free fall. We're gonna go in this endless cycle until whoever's on top, finds an identity, finds some structure, and finds some, collaboration of what they want to do with the football club. And until they find that, we're gonna be in this fucking shit.
Sounds good. Dietrichs.
I agree with Marcel on most of the things, and I promise you're gonna see the same lineup versus Villa. You're not gonna see Romero. You're not gonna see Emerson. You're gonna see Ali, and we're still gonna lose. And people are gonna find excuses for Nuno.
All right. Kieran.
I don't know what Nuno's going to do. I think we're going to lose regardless, though, because I think Villa's squad is just better, and they care, and they want to win. They want to play for their manager. I think we're fucked, guys. I think it's only a matter of time before Nuno gets the sack. Then I guess Ryan Mason takes over as interim. Who knows how long that lasts until we get a real replacement. Either way, I don't think we're going to make Europe. I think we will be out of the Europa Conference League before the semifinals. I think we're in real trouble. Honestly, I think we're in real fucking trouble, and we just gotta hope that whoever the next manager is somebody who can actually turn shit around, get some of these players out of the club, and bring some kind of, philosophy, some kind of cohesive vision. I don't know. I wish he could have something positive to say. But yeah, Brian Hill looks good. He should play more. Levy out, Enoch out, and Wu-Tang forever.
Wu-Tang Clan. Brian.
Wu-Tang bitches. I'm with you, Karen. I actually think that if you're going to place a bet on who would be the first manager to get sacked, I think Nuno is probably, I don't know what the betting odds are at the moment, but I reckon he'll be gone before Christmas. If things continue the way they're going at the moment. And I think that's deserved. I just, having said that, I don't think it's his fault. I just think the system and the club and
It's partially his fault.
Well, it is. I agree. That's true. It's not totally his fault because he has an opportunity to do things differently and he's not taking it despite being told what he's supposed to do. We're in a shambles at the moment, and we started the season with 3 wins that were like not really, it's like painting over the cracks. They weren't good wins. Other than the first game, which I will give the team credit for, that we actually did reasonably well in the first game of the season against a City team that was not really remotely close to the level they're going to be at. We're in the shit at the moment. It's not going to be good. The next month and a half, 2 months will define what our club's going to be in the next 10 years or so. And there's some really big decisions that have to be made, and I'm terrified.
Colin.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marcel. I just being honest. Now, I'm a positive guy too. No, like normally I'm like, yeah.
So negative.
I was hoping Brian would at least cheer me up. But
sorry, buddy. Sorry, I ruined it for you.
Colin?
It's fucking true. We're shambles.
I think I don't have a great answer, but I do think that with the way this season's going, the wheels have fallen off. I think that our hopes of finishing in Europe, like everyone has said, are slim to none. So I think at this point, if we're building for the future, like everyone says, if we're buying for the future, then let's throw the fucking youngins in. Let's throw the players that we expect to be the future of Spurs in. Let's get them used to playing for Spurs. Let's get them used to the Premier League if they're not already, which they're not.
What Arteta's doing.
Like if the season's a write-off already, then why not play for the future? Play the kids for the future, like they're saying in the transfer market. I don't see the logic. The wheels have fallen off. We're not going to be hurting ourselves anymore by playing the kids with potential, and that want to be here. Have you noticed that whenever some of the new signings, I guess I'll just use Hill's the best example, maybe the only, but whenever he comes in, he's so goddamn hungry and he wants the ball. He shows for the ball. He makes the runs. A lot of our players seem like they don't even want the ball. Like they're like, oh, please don't pass to me. Like, you guys handle that. I'll be over here. And Hill constantly makes runs. He constantly shows for the ball. I think Scarlett would be the same way if he got some more time. I think that we've got Niall John. We could play in midfield. I'm just saying, pull a Potch. Shit's fucked right now. And
fuck it. Go for the gusto, right?
Might as well, honestly. And those kids would give you more, I think, more output than we're getting from the senior players. So
yep. And then if you put them in that position, right? If you put them in that position where they've lost their gig to the kid and the kid's making them look bad, maybe they'll step up and start to fucking realize there's.
Is that not what the scum are doing? Is that not what Arteta is doing?
Look at
all the kids in that team that whooped our ass today.
Exactly.
Kids all over the squad.
There's one manager.
It's fucking disappointing, but true.
That if he does get sacked in the Premier League, that I would want more than anybody. Marcelo Bielsa. I love that.
Never
guy.
Come here, Marcelo.
Yeah, I know, but like we should.
I love him too, but he'd never come here.
Graham Potter.
He would, dude. He would.
I never worked for Van Levy.
I'm telling you.
For all summer, man.
No. Graham Potter is a good manager, but I'm telling you, Marcelo Bielsa.
Graham Potter's garbage. Bright win tomorrow. They're top of the league.
Marcelo Bielsa would.
We were top of the league for 3 weeks.
Marcelo Bielsa would instill a mentality. He would instill a mentality that the squad needs. I'm telling you, man. He just does it.
He definitely would. But one of the things I love about Bielsa though is he's an extremely principled man, and I think he'd rather
Sticks to his
like
guns,
put his
right?
eyes out with a pencil
Just has
than
balls.
work for Daniel Levy. You
Just
know?
has balls, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
he'd never
So
work for
do you
Daniel
guys think
Levy, though.
do you guys think Poch is coming back? Do you think that the whole giving Nuno the same
No, why
exact
would he?
contract length that
Depends
Poch
on what
has
happens in the
left is-
Champions League. If he flops out of the Champions League
Yeah,
early,
he'll get sacked if he
sacked.
doesn't win the league or win the Champions
why
League, or
would
at
he
least
come
get to the
back?
final.
Or if
He'll
he
win the
upsets
league.
Messi.
I'll win the league.
Or if he upsets
lost,
Messi,
but he didn't win the
Messi
league
could
last
get
year.
Poch sacked.
Dude,
Let's be
they're
honest.
like he's like 12 points in first place, right? Like in the
Yeah,
league,
yeah.
it's not even close
Yeah,
in the league.
yeah.
If he
Leo
flops
won
out of
last year
Champions
and they're
League-
doing
It's the
terrible.
Champions League that matters
Yeah.
for them, because that league
Well, they've
is
been
fucking-
wanting. They've been trying to win a Champions League for
It's
yeah,
the
they've been throwing
agricultural
money at it for years.
farmers league.
I mean, Liga is so bad that they're like not even top 5
It's
leagues
terrible.
in
It's fucking
Europe
terrible.
anymore. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But the bottom 3, you guys all have channels. Go ahead and promote yourself in the last 2 minutes of the show. We got here. Tyrion?
Oh, me? Oh, yeah.
You got a channel,
Yeah, my
don't you?
channel's Spurs After Dark. We've been under construction a little bit lately, but yeah, we'll have some regular content coming out.
In
It's gonna-
hiatus.
Yeah, it's mostly going to be like probably late night, 10, 11 Eastern. So that's going to be, like, what,
This time.
3, 4 a.m.
So if you're
UK
watching,
time,
pay
so-
attention.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll definitely have some stuff on. And I've done stuff as well. The World Spurs Tour with Eugene from Spurssuasion TV, Dan THFC, formerly known as the Yid Kid, and you'll see me here as well and on other channels. I get around a little bit.
This is the Eastern time
So-
zone right here for the most part.
Yeah, man. Eastern
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
You froze on us, Brian.
Oh, I'm still here.
You're here now, but you were like, "Meh."
Yeah, you know,
That was pretty
you
funny.
wanted
He
to
was
see me in a
holding
good
pose.
post, so that's fine.
But Brian, you also have a channel.
I do.
for people
Tottenham
that can
Hotspur
find
is my
you.
channel with Brian Daigle, who's currently in the UK at the moment. So some of our content hasn't been as consistent as it normally would be because time situations, EST being an issue, and he's on GMT. But yeah, we're going to be keep doing what we're doing. We've got our with the Yid Kid.
loves Marcel. I'm sorry.
listen. What this first team
I'll let you guys go
needs,
ahead.
It's a passion, okay? Okay, so don't talk to me about passion, Merchant. When we're screaming for passion.
But Brian, I'm sorry. It was just too
It's
funny.
fine. It's fine. It was appropriate. I totally get it. Yeah. So we're gonna do the two Brians. We'll start get back up again next week, and we'll be doing a post pre fucking life sucks as a Spurs fan bit. Looking forward to that. And
It does.
yeah, and we've got the Between the Lines with Daniel Wynn, which we're doing whenever there's a home game, and then we've got the Final Whistle with Dan THFC, who's a referee. We're doing that once a week, and yeah, we're just we're building. You know, we went from where we were, and we're now where we are. It's sort of a
You're
journey.
getting back there. You're getting back there.
Yeah, but there, yeah, we broke the 400 followers, 400 subscriber scenario, which was
And I would be surprised if there's anybody here who's not subscribed. But if you're not subscribed, go make sure you do that.
yeah,
It's
come
a
check us out
consideration.
Tottenham tour. You know, like I think our content's pretty good, but we need to get more consistent. But of course, with Brian being in the UK, it's a bit harder to give it the regular stuff. But yeah, appreciate it. Go like and subscribe. And first and foremost, if you're here for the first time, like and subscribe to fucking Magnum PI here, Will, who looks, other than without the mustache, is a handsome fella. Like and subscribe to the THFC.
I'm
rant.
officially as good looking as Ryan Mason.
I can't deny that. I can't deny that.
You missed the poll. We actually put a poll, and it was 50-50.
No,
It was
really?
over 100
Shit.
votes. Yeah,
If I had voted, I might have broken
100 votes.
I might have broken that duck if I'm. But anyway, yeah. Cheers. Thanks for having me.
You're always welcome to come on. And Mr. Colin, you also have a channel.
Yeah. I wanted to say thank you for having me, and everybody. Will's doing great stuff all the time. If you're here, you're subscribed, probably, of course. But just don't forget to always check him out. Hit the like. He deserves it. He works hard.
Yeah.
Yep. And I do have a channel. Talking Ball is the name of the channel. Got 2 shows really right now. Monday at 6 Eastern, 11 GMT. We got a show called Chatting Shit, and it's a lot like this. We just get together, and it starts kind of structured, then just devolves into a bunch of friends talking Spurs. Everybody's welcome. I'll throw in the link. And then Friday nights, same time, we have a Spurs game show that's just a really wild shit show called Keeper West Ham. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't ever come over and seen that, I suggest you come give it a look-see. Maybe you'll love it.
Can I chime in quickly here?
You guys gotta go watch that.
Yeah, I would love to, and I would want to be on it. But can I just chime in with the three of us at the bottom here? We're all Eastern time zone. We should all connect and get each other on each other's channels because you guys are dope, and we can. It's easy to organize or easier.
I'm Eastern too. Don't invite.
I know,
me,
Will.
Brian.
Will, you're always included in that,
dude.
Dude, Will, I would love to have you on my game.
Don't forget about me. And of course, Marcelo, you're always welcome in anything. But I just thought like the guys in the channels, we all have channels that are on the same time zone, so it'd be good to connect.
No, I've been a lazy bum lately, to be honest with you. I was just trying. Look, I caught so much heat during the transfer window, right? Being pegged as Mr. Negative.
Yeah, that's bullshit, though.
That I had some kind of agenda, some axe to grind against left-footed players.
You know how much hate? Listen, Will. You know how much hate I get for my opinions all the time. I don't care.
Fuck you, Marcelo. Shut up.
Yeah, I don't care what people think.
But no, but I mean, just for
give
me,
me a little hate, Marcelo. Give me a little hate.
But for me, I was just I've kind of unplugged myself a little bit. I've just kind of, like I said, I've just kind of let the dominoes fall, and then I can come in and say, "I fucking told you so."
You're doing Will's doing Will without question.
But
come on back to Will Stewart THFC
Rants. I think I posted in the Twitter group at one point in time. I said everybody comes to back to my position at some point or another.
You won me over,
is that missionary? Is that your position?
Either one? I prefer on top, but
simple. Just keep it simple.
But yeah, guys, like if you haven't seen Colin's show, the Keeper West Ham, it's fucking hilarious. It was the last episode you guys did. You had like Bob and Brian on, and oh my god,
I'm a happy clapper.
Colin, I would love to come. I would love to come on that on not this Monday because I'm working, but the following. I'd love to come on if that's a.
That's the Friday night show.
It's the Friday night one.
Too, but I'm always working every time he's having it. So hopefully, maybe next Friday.
Any of you guys are welcome. Any and all.
Are you guys both? Are you guys both in the Spurs thing on Twitter? Spurs family thing.
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah, Spurs family one. Yeah, get in touch. Anyway, it'd be great.
I don't know if Colin's in the new one. You might be in the family one, but we have a Spurs.
There's a new one.
Intro space. That's what you're in, Brian Island. I think.
Space,
I'm in the Spurs family one. I don't think I'm in the new one.
Oh,
wait, I thought the Spurs family got.
No, I'm not. I'm only in the one.
Yes, you are.
Just add me, Will. Okay, make sure you.
Me too, if you guys could.
What's your Twitter handles?
I'm
the Tottenham on tour.
Talking ball 1.
See, I thought you were. So there's talking.
Oh, you switch your thing. Maybe that's why you're not in anymore. Hold on, let me add you.
There's Tommy talking balls, right? I thought you were Tommy talking balls.
I gotta go to sleep, fellas. I gotta wake up from my tattoo appointment.
It's a bed, buddy.
Hey, good talking to you, Marcelo.
Get Brian Hill's name tattooed on your ass.
Tottenham Hotspur tattoo because it's.
No,
I have one.
I'm like every day I wake up and look at it and go, "You."
I'll never get a Spurs tattoo.
Mine's pretty big.
I love Tottenham, but you know what tattoo they have? They have it in my brain. They're constantly.
It's enough. It's enough misery. Yeah. It's enough misery than put it in your ink on your fucking arm.
No, I'm not gonna do.
I've done it. I feel bad about it already.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have a good day.
Only had it for a year.
Or good night.
Cheers, myself.
All right, you guys were added. Everybody's added.
Cool,
thanks for coming on the show.
Pleasure, Will.
It's always fun to have people on. And this for people. Oh, there we go. Way to round out the night. Feel better listening to all of you after the loss. Thank you. I had fun. Thank you, Gogama, for all your support.
Always in the chat.
Moderator in the chat.
Super
chats, super stickers, memberships, Patreons.
All the good stuff.
Yeah. This channel wouldn't be the same without you.
Cheers, Will. Thanks for having us.
Thanks a lot, man.
Gogama is the woman behind the man. But before you guys leave, I do want to say that Mari said, I am fitter than the queen. It's official. And I just wanted to let you guys know that we whatever goes on, we still need to stay strong, stay Spurs. And when will we see them again?
When will we see who?
The viewers.
I don't know. You tell us. This is
When
your
we're gonna
channel.
see him? You don't know?
This is your channel. You tell everybody.
We're gonna see him next
Tomorrow. Next time.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's go now.
Do